I don't mind stealing bread. Warmed up here. Anybody online? My new camera here. Alright. Nothing fancy. Just gonna be doing some squats tonight. It is late again. I'm gonna do some dynamic box squats. Now that I got the green light for the lifting, I need to get strong fast. And the dynamic box squat is exactly what it sounds like. A nice little 3-second negative. And then you fire off the box with as much force as you can. Really hammers the quads. Good for getting that, yeah. You know, if you haven't worked out in a while, they call it muscle memory, but really what it is you haven't really lost any muscle cells. They've just shrunk. So this is a good way to kind of blast and get that power back as quickly as possible. I don't know what a glute spread is. It sounds like a margarine or something. You put it on your toast. It's a butter alternative. I'm just doing warm-ups. I like to use the bench for the box. It's not quite as deep as you need to go, but right about where it needs to be. Lets you generate power. So I'm going to see if I can get strong again and compete. Whew. Yeah, sissy squats are good. What is the biggest lifting tip you could give to someone? I'll give you 2. Don't miss more than 3 days in a row. And use tempo. What is tempo? I will demonstrate. Regular squat. Down, up. Tempo. 1, 2, 3, boom. So, You can do it with any lift, and it'll make, no matter what your program is, right? Just doing that alone will you'll bust through any plateau that you have. If you're bench pressing, just slow it down. 1, 2, 3, boom, fire. Imagine you're a trebuchet or a catapult or a shotgun, and you're loading up. And as soon as you get that right to where you're going to go, you fire. You know, fire. Controlled violence. Yes, pull-ups. Definitely do pull-ups, for sure. Pull-ups are one of the best you can do. The barrier for pull-ups is a lot of people can't do them. Shelia Patterson. Hey, what's up? Yeah, thank you, Skylar. Don't bench, it's the worst exercise. Well, you kind of have to if you're a power lifter. If you want to participate in the sport. But I would agree with you. If I wasn't a power lifter, I probably wouldn't bench press. I would probably do weighted dips. That's definitely not all natural. Okay? I don't know who you're trying to talk to. You're in the wrong neighborhood. I'm 51 years old. I'm not going to apologize for not being natural. Form is super important. I mean, there's a ton of stuff that's important, but like when you're talking to people, you're generalizing, like what can everybody do without knowing you or knowing your context or knowing what kind of lifting you like to do. There's certain things that are ubiquitous. One of them is consistency. And when people are starting to work out, if you don't enjoy it, if you're not a psycho like I am and you live in the gym, if you're just somebody that's trying to get into shape but you don't want to spend all of your life working out, the minimum amount to get a good consistent habit going is to not miss more than 3 days. If you can keep that, never go more than 3 days without training, at least for the first year, you're gonna, I mean, you'll find out real soon if you like it or not. But I think everybody should do. As we age, with my wife, being a biology major, we were looking through all the studies. There's only one thing that's been clinically proven to stave off the effects of aging, to include things like dementia, Alzheimer's, that sort of thing, and that's resistance training. So it's, I know, like, her great grandmother, she's in her 90s, and she's pretty spry. She walks, but she can't bend over and pick a pen up. So even though she's in really good shape for someone in her 90s, if she would have incorporated just a little bit of resistance training, full range of motions, body squats, things of that nature, her quality of life would be, way higher. Like today, I played basketball with my kids. A 51-year-old man out there, I was running a full court game with the kids at the park, and even though I could only go like a half hour before my niece started screaming at me, all of the other parents were just standing there staring at us. And the difference is at the age of 51, I still get to participate. I'll never be as good as I was, but I have a way higher quality of life than most of the people my age. And it's, all I do is some basic lifting, and, I walk, I ride a bike. I just try to stay as active as possible, to be honest with you. Jay Cutler never benched. You don't know what you're talking about. He benched all the time. He's here in Vegas. I can go to his gym. He was doing inclines the other day. He was literally doing incline bench with 3 plates on it. To say Jay Cutler never benched? Are you high on your... But look, I'm going to agree with you in saying that bench press is not the best exercise for upper body development. Intrinsically, there's a lot of issues with it. And if you're looking for risk reward or your best bang for the buck, I would say, if it was me, if I had to pick one exercise, I would go with weighted dips. But Cutler benches all the time. My grandkids, I don't have grandkids yet. My kids are still in grade school. GW. My daughter's 10 and my son's 13. I waited way too long to have kids. They think I'm their grandparents when I drop them off at school. No, Jay Cutler benches heavy. Real heavy. He had 4 plates. He was benching with 4 plates. Now, what he doesn't do, though, So what I noticed Cutler was doing was he wasn't going full range. He was just doing like this little short range of motion pumping movement. And I think maybe like if I were to do Jay Cutler's bench online, I would have all these idiots that are commenting that none of the reps count, not understanding that we're exercising and we're not competing in the Olympics. But you know how the internet is. So Jay Cutler's reps are would be considered not they're not a full bench, but if you look at what the man was trying to accomplish, he's not a power lifter, but he could be. I bet you, like if Cutler wanted to be, he would be an elite level power lifter. Romanes from World War One. I'll take that as a compliment. How much can I bench? I don't know. I had bicep surgery. You see my little deformed bicep popped off the ulnar. So I just started training again, and before I got injured, I was benching like 420, right around there. Um, I did reps at 315, and I did like a set of five. So if I had to guess, I'm probably around 350 right now. But we'll see. I'll start training, and we'll see how if that comes back or not. Obama. It's messed up that I scroll through these live streams, and every time I come across an Indian streamer, I type don't I type don't redeem it just to see if they say it. Honestly, it really didn't hurt that bad, because the muscle sheared off of the bone. Initially, it hurt like hell. I have it on video. You guys can watch it. I posted it. Um, but then it really didn't hurt afterwards because it was detached from the bone. There was nothing to really hurt. Um, I probably could have still competed, but I decided to let it heal. I don't like the way the Indians speak. Okay. When I snap my fingers, you'll forget you were ever gay. Well, that seems like a you problem there, Chris. I'm going to be 13 on December. Nice. Yeah, my son just turned 14. He was November 19th. Alright, so we're doing dynamic box squats. It's real simple. This was pioneered, or this move was the Dave Tate Elite Lifts is a West Side Barbell. What's the bodybuilder that just passed away recently? He was close to my age. I can't think of his name. But he used to be he did videos with Dave Tate, but this was a lift that I wouldn't say he created, but he was really big on it, and I found that for getting strength for squatting, and before I had my injury, I was squatting right close to 700 pounds. This movement here is like my go-to for building straight power out of the hole. And what it really requires, I've seen people do box squats, and I see them just sitting on a box, and it's like really that's no different than a squat. That doesn't really do anything for you. The whole point of a box is to break the stretch reflex, so they get the rebound out of it. So you're gonna lower yourself, and you don't want to sit on it, but you want to stop on the box to break that stretch reflex, and then you want to fire off of it with as much speed as you can. And that's the dynamic portion of it. So it's a two-part lift. The first part is your 3 second. You can go as slow as you want, but the slower you go, the more energy you waste. So I found a nice 3 count to be a really good middle ground. 1, 2, 3, and then boom. And that's it. Now you want to do these for probably 2 or 3 reps at a time. The way that Dave Tate was doing them is he would do 1, 2 reps, boom, boom, and then rack it. And then whatever your working set is. Now, if you're working up to your uh, whatever your working weight's going to be, you don't have to do 2 reps. I mean, if you're warming up, you can do 5, whatever. But once you get to your target weight, you want to keep the reps low. So, let's say you're a 600-pound squatter. What that might look like is 405 on the bar, sets of 2 for 10 total. So you're basically doing 20 total reps. Yeah, Antonio, give it a try. It's you don't you're not going to work with as much weight as you're accustomed to. A lot of guys, they want to go heavy. If you're like me, you're at the gym, everybody's looking at you, and you're a 5 or 6 plate squatter. You want to load that bastard up, and you can't do that. You're not going to get well. You could injure yourself. The dangerous portion of this lift is when you make contact with the box. There's a tendency to want to relax a little bit, so you've got to really focus on keeping that core tight. If you do that, it's super safe. So, 300-pound deadlift for 13 is awesome. How much do you weigh, Thomas? That's a lot. I mean, a 300-pound deadlift is good for most adults. I think my son, he's got dad's genetics, so he's not very big. I was the shortest kid in my class freshman year. I was 4'11". So he doesn't, I don't think he weighs more than 80 pounds. And he can do about 200, but he doesn't really like lifting. He's more into sports. But if you play basketball, and you want to jump high, I'm going to tell you right now, you want to increase your hops, the number one exercise you can do is heavy barbell squatting. Great Rampy. I don't have any grandkids yet. Have you ever attended a virtual NA or AA meeting? Yes. A lot of them, mixed martial artists. Matter of fact, if you have one and you want me to attend it, I will. Just send me an invite. So again, we're doing 315 is not a lot of weight, but you have to respect it with this specific exercise. The big thing is you want to wrench that core tight and keep it that way. You don't want to relax the back. So do a nice, at least a 2 count, but a 3 count down. 1, 2, 3, pause, fire. See how it's bouncing off my back? 1, 2, 3, fire. That's where you get it right there. 1, 2, 3, fire. Now, no, if I wasn't using my phone as a camera, I would be using it as an accelerometer. I have a barbell tracker, and it would tell me the speed of each rep and the amount of force I'm generating, and so I can attempt to beat the speed of the rep previous to that. And that's more important than putting more weight on. That's where you're going to really generate some excellent strength. So quad strength, yes, and it really depends on, this is for Antonio. So think of your foot as a lever. Your foot's the lever, that's the fulcrum, back and forth. Your moment arm is going to be your hips and your knees. So the higher up I am, so like an Olympic squat, you're going to break at the knees first, and it's going to be more knees over toes with the back upright, and it's going to be more quad dominant. With a low bar, you're going to break at the hips first, and you're going to lower, and it's more posterior chain dominant. So what this camber bar does is it moves the center of gravity forward, so I get the best of both worlds. I'm a back squatter, a low bar rather, but this forces me to be a little more upright, so it splits the difference between the glutes and the quads, and it uses both. And the way you adjust that, the way you adjust the moment arm, is where on your back the weight is. So if you think about it, you're squatting, right? This is the barbell straight up and down. If you move that weight up, it's going to force you to sit back a little and be more upright. If you move the weight, and you move the weight this way, it's going to bring you that way, and you can adjust where you can adjust where on the moment arm the weight is focused by messing around with the moving the bar up and down your back a little bit. And it's only between here and here. Like this is a high bar. Like up right about here. Bam. And this is a low bar. And that's it. And that's all you need. That's the difference. If you're one of those guys, if you're a low bar squatter and you're having problems hitting depth, besides adding squatting shoes, what you can do is you can move the weight a little bit higher up towards your neck, even an inch, and it'll cause you to sit back into it a little bit more. That's something you can mess around with. If you look at the squat as like, from a leverage standpoint, you break it down that way, you can get a lot more use out of the exercise. Whew. I'm yawning myself. It's fucking late. Baby boomer here. Kick back, baby back. I used to smoke 2 packs and bench 350. Nice. Outstanding. Looking better than ever, bro. I gotta get some of my size back, but thank you. I appreciate it. I'm so any absent I'm mentally ill. I'm a cockroach. If there was a nuclear war, I'd be that thing with 6 legs crawling out of the garbage. It's just like, I refuse to die, but I'm all fucked up. Oh man. I stockpiled Adderall for years and binged on it. Oh, just go get some cocaine, dude, if you're gonna do that. Adderall, jeez, I don't even know. What is Adderall like? I've never had that. I've heard it's a lot like speed, like a methamphetamine type thing. You lost 20 pounds, nice. Do you remember Fen for a while? There was that diet stuff. We used to take that, and that's basically straight up speed. Oh, I'm gonna get off camera here and grab my drink. I didn't even know I liked speed. I was taking it and I had no idea because I never did drugs as a kid. Adderall's only good if you snort it. That's one strong lesbian. Hell yeah. Can I flex? No, I'm not a bodybuilder, but yeah, I guess so. I'm gonna get my little arm out of the camera. Let me see what I can do. See what my shoulders look like. You guys gotta give me a month of hard training to get my physique back. I put on 30 pounds. Holy shit, dude. So yeah, I had bicep surgery. I'm hoping that when I start doing curls, it'll even out. But yeah, they got this scar here and here, and they basically pulled the bicep down and drilled a hole in my ulnar and I don't know, used duct tape or something. Thank you, Amanda. Appreciate it. Is it grippy? It sure is. All right, so did I already hit 3 plates? King crab. Yeah, fiddler crab. That's right. Adderall helped me memorize 400 chemistry questions. More like thinking. No, no. It's there's. I play the drums, right? And they have this pedal. It's called the duelist pedal, and it lets you do double bass with one foot. You flip a switch. It's got two pedals, so every time you do an up and down stroke, the pedals hit, and then you can hit the switch and turn it back into a single pedal. And it's actually it takes a little bit to learn it. It's actually kind of a difficult thing to use right out of the box. But the point, a lot of drummers will say that's cheating because you're not using both feet. And I say, well, you're playing an instrument. What do you mean cheating? Or, like I'll do squats and I'll purposely not go ass to grass. And guys will tell me, well, that doesn't count. I'm like, for what? Exercise? I didn't burn calories. I didn't get stronger. Like, I think whatever tool you use, if it helps you to accomplish something, it's not cheating. Now, it would be cheating if you were, like, say, in a competition to learn something and you snorted a bunch of meth and were able to read, like, the entire Encyclopedia Britannica and so it's cheating if it's in competition in rules. So, like, for me, because I'm not natural, I would be cheating if I competed against people that were natural. But luckily for me, there's a untested division, and those guys, I don't know, man. The guy that I lost to, I placed second at Worlds to what was his name? Russian guy, Gustarev, Victor, Victor Gustarev. He was my weight on weigh-in day, which was 220 pounds, and then the next day he would look like he was 260. So this guy did a water cut where he lost 30 pounds, and then came in the next day and he benched almost 500 pounds at my weight and my age, 48 years old, and I think I hit 385. And I asked him, I said, "Hey, bro, what are you taking?" And he told me straight up, he's on Trenbolone. I was like, at our age, holy shit, man. I mean, that's dangerous. Like, when you're getting up close to 50 years old, that's like you're asking to just explode your heart. But I guess what's the point I'm trying to make? It's in the rules. If the rules are it's untested, you can do whatever you want. So, I'm not willing. I'm not natural. I'll take some tests, some DHB, things of that nature, maybe some Masterone. I've taken a little bit of Anadrol, like a few weeks before competition. I've done that before, but I'm not willing to turn myself into a science experiment because I got kids. The kids are still in grade school, so you got to, when you get to my age, you got to be really, really super careful. But guys are willing, man, they're willing to die when they get on that platform, and I've been there. I understand the feeling. A knit cap in the gym. No, I have no tattoos. I don't have a single tattoo, Tug. Isn't that weird? And it's cold in here. It's getting cold in my garage. Smart Gamer, does your girlfriend have a leaf bracelet tattoo on her wrist? That was a good one. Your trend is dumb to mess with over the age of 30. Yeah, dude, I mean, I did trend once, and I turned in for a couple of weeks. And I literally was like, so I came home and I walked in the house and the cabinets were left open. And normally I'm like, I get annoyed. I'm like, God damn it, can you close the fucking cabinets? I was enraged. I was so mad. I literally thought about taking the countertop and ripping it off. And I had this vision of me just pulling all the cabinets down and crushing them on the floor in a big pile. And I was like, whoa, where'd you go there, guy? What, are you okay? I went to the bathroom, looking in the mirror, and I'm like, I had these murderous thoughts. Okay, this is not right. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh, it's got to be the drugs. So I got off that. I got off trend. And here's what I will say. You feel really, really goddamn strong. But so I'm on DHB. I take about 200 milligrams of D when I'm in training. I'm not on it right now. When I'm getting ready for competition, it's dihydroboldenone, and it's got a lot of the same benefits, but it's really, really safe for guys over the age of 40 in used in moderation. Now, mind you, like everything will kill you. Um, but it's got a lot of the same benefits without any of those side effects. And, like one of the things that I watch religiously because I'm over 50 is my blood pressure. And I monitor my little, I finally broke down. I got one of these smartwatches. And I try to target 120 over 70. That's what my goal is. And I noticed when I was on cycle, I was running high blood pressure, and so that's the kind of thing that see, the number one killer for men over the age of 40 is blood pressure, and it's the number one issue with taking steroids. There's a lot of misconceptions. They say like steroids will kill you and all that, but if you think about it, they prescribe Anadrol and Anavar for people that are bedridden so that you don't lose muscle mass, and that prescription comes in 50 milligrams. So if you take it's super liver toxic. It's very toxic for your organs. But if you take just the doctor prescribed amount, it's no more dangerous than Motrin. Motrin is equally as toxic, and there's people that take so much Motrin and don't even realize, and they're just murdering their kidneys. So it's all about like but here's the thing: it's like lifters. I know guys that I train with, they take 6 times that amount. This guy told me he took like 600 milligrams of Anadrol, and I'm like, okay, that's liver toxic. That'd be taking a handful of Motrin. Yes, that is absolutely organ toxic. But if you take just one, and then of course, how long are you taking it for? Are you taking it for years, or are you taking it for a few weeks before competition? So it's all about the number one thing is no matter what you do, I don't endorse steroids. I absolutely don't. I do endorse testosterone and hormone replacement therapy for guys over the age of 40. 100%. It's just uh, it's better living. Absolutely. But if you're going to do anything, please, for the love of God, get a physical and get your blood work done at least every 2 to 3 months. And you get your blood work done so you can check your test levels. You get your other physical done so you can get your blood and look at everything else. And that'll give you your organ metrics like creatine in your blood will tell you your kidney health, that kind of thing. Triglycerides, cholesterol. Keeping your blood pressure low. The target 120 over 70. If you for guys over 40, if you can get anywhere close to that and maintain that, that's your number one killer right there. Like high blood pressure over time murders your organs. 54% of U.S. citizens between ages 16 to 74 cannot read above a sixth grade reading level, according to U.S. Department of Education. The one I read was Callan Rowan. You're not too far off. It was I read that it was a 10th grade reading level. Yeah, I'll tell you this. I pulled my kids out of public school because they're dumb as fuck. They don't teach phonics anymore. You know how they're teaching kids to read? To memorize words. So what does that mean? Instead of sounding a word out, like cat, they memorize the word cat. C-A-T is cat, like a symbol. And then the problem is if there's another word that's really similar to cat, like hat, they don't know what the fuck it means. And when I found out my daughter doesn't learn phonics, they memorize words. It blew me away. I was like, how is that possible? My wife taught my daughter how to sound words out. Real simple. You don't know, and context. So I always taught my kids context. If you don't know what a word means, read the whole sentence. What's the sentence about? If you say like 94% of criminals have a recidivism rate above 84% and wind back up in prison almost immediately. What the hell does recidivism mean? Well, read the sentence. Okay, they wind up back in jail. Is it like a repeat? Yeah. You can kind of get an idea of what a word means. They don't teach that. So, yeah, these kids are dumb as fuck. Dumb as fuck. And they've also changed the curriculum so that parents don't know how to help them. I look at Common Core math, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. Like, I do engineering at work. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I asked Rich Uncle Google to do most of my math for me, but I've taken calculus, trigonometry, engineering, balancing equations for chemistry, and I look at Common Core math, and I'm like, I don't get it. Like, what are we doing here? And it's just that your brain's been taught a certain way to add things up and subtract and multiply and all that, and the way the kids are doing it, it doesn't work for somebody that's not familiar with the system. And I think that's by they do that so that the parents are kept out of the loop. I took a linguistics course in college, and it was surprisingly challenging. Mixed martial artists. The number one thing you can learn is linguistics. I firmly believe that because that translates. If you're a mathematician and you learn linguistics, like me, I'm heavy in science and chemistry. Language translates into the ability to interpret just about anything mathematically. I don't know if I'm explaining that right. Um, the best mathematician I know majored in linguistics at Berkeley. He's also a fucking hippie. Um, but his mathematical ability to translate anything has given him the ability to learn like 7 or 8 languages. It's really amazing. I'm dumb as fuck. I'm not saying I'm smart at all. I'm just observations. Gen X policy, none 2467. What were your symptoms, if any, when you had low T? Yeah, so I had low T for over a year, and I was that natural guy that was sanctimonious. I was like, I don't need none of those drugs. Those fucking, I'm natty. Ugh. I was that guy. Um, I noticed I didn't want to work out anymore. I still forced myself to train, but I just didn't have the. And my wife's super hot. I'm highly attracted to her, but I just didn't have interest. I never found her unattractive. I just didn't have any interest. All I wanted to do was sit in my garage and watch YouTube videos. I'm a gamer. I used to love playing video games, painting Warhammer figurines, doing all that stuff. And instead, I was watching videos of people playing video games, and that was me instead of playing them. Um, and I just turned into this vegetative slob. I finally went on testosterone after my buddy was harping me about it. He was in his 50s. His name's Vince. He's a Hall of Fame powerlifter too. Um, is he in the Hall of Fame? Yeah, he's in the USPA Hall of Fame. One of the best over 50 lifters of all time. He convinced me to finally try some testosterone out, and he humped my leg for a year, and I was like, fuck no, I'm not doing that. I'm telling you right now, just straight up nothing but testosterone, 170 milligrams a week. Within 2 weeks, my wife had to tell me to put that fucking thing away because I was pestering her too much. I was like 20 years old, jumping around, playing basketball. I started riding my bike again. I was playing with my kids. I was just having a blast. I felt like a fucking 10-year-old. Um, I can't recommend it high enough. If you suffer from, so there's some medical issues with low testosterone. All quality of life aside, um, if you have clinically low testosterone, people will say there's nothing but negativity about hormone replacement therapy. But if you think about it, there's a reason you go to a doctor to fix problems. Low testosterone is related with heart issues, cardiovascular issues. It's a whole bunch, depression, just aging, senility, dementia. Um, the question is it better to grow old and suffer all that shit? Or maybe I might cut a few years off my life, but the quality of my life is going to be enhanced. Like even now, if I get injured, I heal so much faster. Um, I don't know. So far, I would do 100 times over again. And I have some older friends that don't need it. I train with a 60-year-old guy, and he's 100% natural, and he looks great, and he feels great, and he doesn't have low T, and yeah, I mean, if you don't need it, don't. I'm not saying you should do something just because everyone else is doing it, but definitely get your blood work done. I mean, that's the one thing I always tell people is just like get good information. Go to a doctor, get your blood work done. Just see what you're working with. And that way you can make an informed decision. I mean, you don't have to do anything, but it's good to have the information. There's a lot of people I know that have high blood pressure, and they're afraid to go to the doctor and find out because they think that once that doctor tells them you're going to die, then they have to change their life and it's all over. So, okay, that doesn't seem very smart to me, but that's ignorance is bliss, I guess. Hey, whatever works for you. I don't judge. I haven't said no, you're a Palestinian. I'm not keeping up with the conversation very well. Sorry, guys. Tax the rich isn't right wing in modern terms whatsoever. I don't even want to know let's see, what is your LDL cholesterol level? My LDL cholesterol level is genetically low, Tico. It's actually not as high as it needs to be. Um, but my HDL levels are also very low too, and that's dangerous. So the only thing I found that increases HDL is exercise and diet. Will Dingus, what's up? Stone Cold Steve Austin drank beer. Why don't you? Because I'm an alcoholic, Jason. Stone Cold didn't wake up in a fire break in Red Rock Mountains with a fucking Mustang that has no gas because he ran the heater. Oh man, my last bender, I have a GT Mustang and I drove it up the pass going to Pahrump, and they have the fire breaks that go up the mountains. I don't know what the fucking possessed me to drive my Mustang on a fire break. That's off-road vehicles, and I was about 2 or 3 miles in, up at about 11,000 feet, and I had a big ass bottle of vodka, and I guess I fell asleep with the heater on. I was running the vehicle, and when I woke up in the morning, it was out of gas, and it was freezing. And I had no phone communication, so I couldn't call for help. So not only did I have an epic hangover, I had to hike out of there with no winter clothes. And I remember I was like walking towards the freeway, and there was this campground. It was like a Christian, like a church kind of thing, and it was closed. So they had a main uh, building, and I broke into it, and they had me on camera too. I didn't realize that, and I found a phone, and I was looking for booze because I was so hungover and hurting. I had the shakes real bad. I was real sick, and all I could find was a bottle of vanilla extract, 35% alcohol, and I fucking drank the shit out of it. Let me tell you, that was rough. But it got me feeling all right. And then I called my wife, and Lord have mercy, they came and rescued me, and they drove me to a rehab. And it's funny to laugh at, but I almost froze to death. So the point. This is why I don't have beers like Steve Cold or Stone Cold Steve Austin. I Let's see. Addie and Ariel for making me cheerleading team rival icebreakers, please. They're begging you. Can you shout out my daughters, Addie and Ariel, for making the cheerleading team? I had to read it first to make sure it wasn't like my son Jack Mahogoff or Hugh Jazz. Or, No, Addie and Ariel for making the cheerleading team. Nice. Rival and icebreakers. When you say LDL low, can you give me a ballpark range? Tico. Oh. Uh, Let me get my blood work. I think I have it. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm a real data-driven guy, believe it or not. Even though I play a dumbass on TV, but I actually keep spreadsheets on everything. I don't have. No, this is not my blood work. This is physical therapy. I don't. What's the range? I want to say like mine was 34 is the number that comes to mind. I know it's genetically low. All my life I've had genetically low cholesterol. 34 sounds like the number. If I recall correctly, it was 34. Damien, what's up, man? I've been losing weight. I used to weigh in at 325, now 290. Holy shit, dude. Stone Cold rejected his first daughter as well. They're people also. And I'm a big family man. I love my kids. Now, I had a shitty childhood, and I'm not going to fucking whine and cry about it. But one thing I will say is I will never, ever put my kids through that. Uh, you haven't emailed me. Yeah, so, Damien, I got to be honest with you. I kind of went off the deep end there a little bit. Um, I fell off the wagon. I was sober since 2013, and I had a little bit of a relapse, which is why I didn't stream for a couple of weeks. I decided to go get some help and get myself right, which is why I put on 30 pounds. And I'm a little bit behind on. I haven't checked my comments or my emails, and I'm just starting to get back into streaming. And um, long story short, or short story long, whichever one. I apologize. I haven't gotten back to you on email. I'm behind on communications with everybody. I kind of like, I let everything get to me, and I sort of had a episode. Here I am. I've been sober since 2013, and even now, to this day, it's still a problem. Like, and I don't have cravings. I didn't like. It was just. It's sort of like a buddy had some stuff, and I didn't even. I wasn't looking for it. I didn't ask for it. I was like, oh, that's all it took. One night of fun, and we had fun. We went out for an evening. I did a little of this, that, and the other thing, and it was a blast. Went home, slept it off, no big deal. But then I got that little bug in my head, like, I'll call my buddy up, see if he's got more. Within 2 weeks, man, it was daily. Just like it was back in 2013. So I had to get right. So anyway, I apologize for. I'm going to try to catch up with all my communications. I definitely want to help and work with you, and I'm really sorry that I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say. I'm going through it. I think I'm back on the path. We're doing, we're training again. We're getting everything right, but do I take cholesterol meds to balance it out? No, I don't. I actually don't take cholesterol meds. So, I got my numbers up. So so that's the other thing. I changed my diet and training, and my numbers came up from that 34. That was the original. That was the low testosterone number. Okay, so I'm not explaining things right. 34 was the number I had before I started addressing the problem. Uh, Now my numbers are still on the low end, but they're in range. They're in a healthy range. They're where they're supposed to be. And when I no, I didn't do any meth. Strange one. Not saying I wouldn't have, but what do you think playing God? What do you think is playing God? I was talking to a religious friend. He said he shouldn't go to space because humans weren't made to go to space. Um, playing God. Playing God is, to me, it's more idol worship. So you got so you get Elon Musk, and he's like, say, trying to merge humanity with technology. Technically, we meet the definitions of cyborg with the use of our phones. I use my phone for so much. I use it for work. I use it for entertainment. I've gotten to the point where it's indispensable. It's got all my work files on it. I do math with it. If I have to do engineering calculations, I no longer break the slide rules out and do the math like I should. I use Rich Uncle Google, and I'll put the numbers in there, and he spits them right out at me, and it's made me way more productive, but dumber. So now I'm a fucking retard, and I have to have this thing, and that, by definition, that would make me a cyborg. Now he wants to take that one step further and merge humans and technology. Now, playing God would be doing these things in the absence of faith. I don't know. How do I explain this? Any endeavor I do, me being a Christian, I always say, God, your will be done. If I'm doing the right thing, if I'm doing, I'll say a prayer, and I'll be like, hey, whatever. However, I'm going to do this thing that's presented to me, and I'm going to leave the outcome to you, and have faith that it's going to turn out the way you want it to turn out. That's allowing God to direct my life, and I still need to do the work that's in front of me. I'm just no longer obsessing on the outcome. Playing God is trying to control what is uncontrollable in the absence of faith. And that's usually where we as a species run into most of our problems. Now, I think God made us the way we are for a reason, and we are meant to explore and to create and to do all these wonderful things. But the one thing that the Bible, if you look at like a theme or, an ethos, if you will, it's supposed to be to put others first before your own needs. And we've replaced that with solipsism, or basically we are the center of the universe and our needs come first. Um, I don't know if that's a good explanation. Because like, what is playing God? I mean, it's like, yeah, I think we're supposed to be like He made us this way for a reason. I think we're supposed to go to space. Why wouldn't we? If we can do it, we should do it. But then you go like, if you go back to like Babylon, why did He knock the tower down? Well, He specifically told them first He didn't want them to build the society there in the first place, and second He didn't want them. They weren't following His instructions. They were doing it just because they could. So what did He do? Is He basically made it so nobody could understand each other, and the society collapsed and then dispersed. What is your current dosage of TRT? Right now, I'm not on much, Tico. I'm taking 200 milligrams of test. I just started taking DHB, so I'm on 200 milligrams of that. That's a week, by the way. I drink whiskey now. Man, I miss whiskey. I love the smell of it. Yeah. He's not big. His tank tops are extra small. Yeah, right? I'll tell you what I'm not doing is working out, though. All right, let's get back. Like, I'm supposed to be training, not talking to you guys. Yeah. For anybody, since I've been babbling for a half hour straight, for anybody that's just joining me, I'm doing what's called dynamic box squats. I've got a 3 second, 3 seconds to the bench, and then you fire off with as much speed as possible. Maintain a tight core, break the stretch reflex up, and then power out of the hold. And this movement is to cultivate strength. Strength and power, baby. If you're stuck at a squat plateau, adding these to your regimen will definitely help. So I'm going to go down really slow. 1, 2, 3. Break the stretch reflex, and then fire off with as much speed as possible. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Easy peasy, baby. Now, if you're doing these right, this is a low weight exercise. So, if, like, say you squat 600 pounds, you're going to be working with like maybe 400 for sets of 2 or 3. Whew. You gotta know when to hold up. You're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the deal is done. Gene says, very gay. Well, you're in the right place, Gene. We accept all types here. You're going to find your love unrequited, though. Why are you trolling for dick on YouTube? Go to a dating website. I took S-Steads for 10 years, came off due to an injury, been under the gym 9 months. We'll go on TRT once I'm going to the gym again, no heavy cycling, JS brickwork. Have you gotten your blood work done, brother? The gloats are looking great. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Do you like and respect military officers? Merry Christmas. Yes. that's I don't know. It depends. Are you an asshole? Gene says very, very gay. Gene, oh, Gene, you know what? You need to talk to, oh, no, it's the same guy. I was going to say, you need to talk to the other guy because you two could hook up. Um, what if I was gay? You got a problem with that? What's your issue with gay people? Do I need to report you to YouTube for hate speech? What's up? Honestly, it's like 2025 is being gay. Is that even a thing? Mm. Just don't tell my wife, okay? And then, as they say in the Marine Corps, it's only gay if your dick's touched. So I was looking for a bench press bar that's square. So the beauty of this bench press, Alex, or that barbell, is this thing works for a variety of things. You get the little 4-inch extended range of motion. So, people ask me for like building up your boobies. Mine are small right now, but what's the best thing for building your chest? You do declines, inclines. I said, no, stretch. So what stretches? You can do dumbbells, get a good stretch out of them. Or you can use something like a camber bar, which gives you an extended range of motion and stretches those pectorals out. Well, it does, for squatting, it's beautiful because it pushes the center of gravity a little bit forward, which sits you back in the squat more, which hammers your quads a little harder. So let's say if you're a competitive powerlifter, you train with this, get a real heavy, and then you switch to a regular barbell. It's like you're training with a deficiency. So then when you switch over to the regular barbell, you'll find that you have just unlocked way more strength. So or doing rows is good because you can row it farther. Instead of hitting your belly button, you can actually bring it back. So it's I would say of all of the equipment that I've purchased, that camber bar is the one I've gotten the most use out of. So if you're on the cheap and you're looking for, you don't have a lot of money to spend, you can pick up one of these, I think, for about $180 on Amazon, and they're just great. They're just good to have. It's called Brohead. What do you know? Boys who play video games. Hell yeah, Reggie. Bro, you must have been a Marine. What's your thoughts on the Diamond Gym? I don't know anything about it. YVN Goat. Look it up. Diamond Gym. DIAMOND. It's here. Let's see. It's Maplewood, New Jersey. Excellent old school hardcore bodybuilding. I've kind of figured it was because most people. I don't know about this one. Now, Jay Cutler's got one here in town that's pretty bitchin'. And then I trained at Iron Addicts. Who's that guy? It's still your motherfucking set. Unfortunately, that closed during the COVID shutdown. You used to have guys like, what's that dingleberry? Cali Muscle, a stupid curl competition. But then we have guys like Stan Efferding used to come in there. Yeah, I don't know much about Diamond Gym, unfortunately. I'm from China's. Talking from experience. I must have missed some funny comments. Thank you for your service. A lot of folks these days hating on our military. Reller T. I think I like the direction the military is going. And my son telling me he wanted to be a Marine. He's 14 years old, and I'll be honest with you. A couple of years ago, I would have said, "Ain't what it used to be," you know. But now it seems like we're riding the ship, and recruitment is going back up again. Now, if you're just saying like people in general hating on people that are in the military, I think society goes in cycles, and you just got like honestly, people are like they thank me for my service, and I'm like, I was fucking homeless. Like I just wanted to get off the streets, and I thought the Marines had the coolest uniform, so like fuck yeah, I'm gonna do that. I did it for all personal reasons. I had nothing altruistic, not one single thought about serving my country or fighting for freedom. I was like, I'm sick of being a little bitch, and these guys look like they know how to turn me into something that's not. And but a lot, I obviously I re-enlisted and did. What? Oh, I just had a message pop up. 120,000 a year? Different conversation. Where was I? Oh yeah, what? I learned to love it. Um, I hated it too though. I actually so when I was 46 years old, I got a letter in the mail, and they wanted me to consider at the age of 46 re-enlisting. I mean, that's how bad the military was hurting, and they needed guys with my specific MOS experience. And not that it's anything special, but I was a field artillery fire direction controlman, so I guess they were hurting for people. You had to have a high GT score and a mathematical aptitude. We call it like combat computer geek. Have laptop, will travel. We were the nerds in the back that aimed the cannons, and we ran this, the combat information center, and it had they had the FATADs, and you could see all the different assets on the in the battle area. It was really cool. It was like a little mini command center. And then we had the communication guys parked next to it. They parked two ambulance shell Humvees butt to butt, and they had this big light-proof tent that went on between them. And we had air conditioning. We had a fucking badass coffee maker. It was kind of nice. And I guess they were hurting for those kind of people because they offered a $75,000 enlistment bonus. And I asked my wife, I was like, what do you think about me joining the military again? And she looked at me, she's like, are you fucking high on crack? Would they even take you? I'm like, I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, I we always look at things fondly. We think about all the good times we had, and we don't think about the weekends during field day, or oh my God, somebody lost a pair of NVGs once, and they put the entire regiment on lockdown and shit like that. You think about all the good times you had. Harpoon the whaler. No, I didn't, dude. I didn't take that. He said I thought you were the Undertaker for a second, and I was thinking like, I'm old, but I'm not that old. But I didn't take it wrong. You guys can talk shit about me. Everybody else does. The nature of warfare has changed as well. He doesn't have to be a grunt. Cybernetic is growing field in the military. Yeah, and that's the other thing I was thinking. Tico is like a guy. Like my position wasn't all that physical. Now we were general support battalion, so they would use us for anything they needed. So, for example, when I first got to 511, the first thing we did is fought fires up in Seattle. So I became a lineman. I literally had a water pack with a little wand and sprayed waters, and everybody else had shovels and pickaxes. And we were up there in the fucking mountains of Seattle fighting fires. And then we did Nixon's funeral, which was really cool. They had, the 6-gun salute that they had for Richard Nixon when he died. That was in 94, late 94, early 95. And then I went on my first deployment, first Westpac, late 1995, and we went to the Middle East. And then when we came back, we were tasked by the DEA to do border patrol. There's a movie about Ezekiel Hernandez, and it's narrated by Tommy Lee, what is that guy's name? He was in Men in Black. Tommy, whatever. It was narrated by that guy, and it was about a shepherd that got killed, and we were down there to observe and report for the DEA about drugs coming across the borders, and this kid aimed a rifle at Corporal Hernandez. PFC Blood was there with him. Well, anyway, this kid aimed a rifle at him, and they stood up out of the dirt with the ghillies on, and they announced themselves as U.S. Marines, and he continued to. He shot once in his direction, and they plugged him, and one shot, one kill, and it was like this big, huge outrage about what the Marines were doing on U.S. soil. It's unconstitutional, all that shit. But that was our unit. We were there for that. I wasn't in that. I wasn't in that fire team. I was not out in the field when that happened, but I was there with them. So it was kind of cool. Like I got to do a little bit of everything. They would have us cross train as infantry, but you would never. As a general support battalion, we would never ever be as qualified as infantry. So they would use us for is things like airport security, like thing like Bagram Airport or any like forward operating bases or Camp Doha. where the grunts would go out in the field and do grunt stuff, they would have us doing like security patrols. So we got, I mean, we got the training, but I mean, I would never ever say I was a grunt. Never. I'm a pogue. Like, I'm pogue and proud of it, baby. But it was cool. We got to do a little bit of everything. It was awesome. Artillery's the best. It has more heavy guns than a heavy guns company. We got crew serves on every vehicle. I had an M203 grenade launcher. Of course, we got the cannons, 155 millimeter howitzers. Brandon Kyle, $2. Air Force is better. What are they better at? We had a JTAC. We had an Air Force JTAC with us, so forward observers. So because we're artillery, we did combined arms fire with air. So our Air Force liaison, dude, that guy was fucking awesome. I love that guy. And I would say definitely he's better at calling for fire, for sure. Those guys are professionals. What do you think about decriminalizing sex work? Well, the thing is, I don't think it's really any of the government. As you know, I used to be a libertarian, and as somebody that leans towards less government anarchy on that scale, I don't believe that the government should have any say in what a person can or can't do. That being said, sex work is, human trafficking. Like, you have to think of all the abuses and all that stuff. I don't think the government, whether I agree with it, like, so I'm against abortion, 100%. I am pro-life. But I don't believe the government has any right to dictate what a woman can or can't do with her body. It's not their business. Same thing with marriage. I don't think I should need the government to give me a permission slip to fucking marry someone. So when it comes to, like, gay rights, marriage, abortion, sex work, all of that, whether I'm for or against it morally, I am 100% against the government saying what people can or can't do. That is not the government's job. The government is to provide security for the nation and to resolve disputes between states. Period. And they obviously don't do that. They do whatever the fuck they want. They dictate who we can or can't do business with. Oh, don't even get me started. For the people, god damn it. How do I properly kick a heavy bag? Well, maybe I'll do some of that tonight, Freddie. I'll show you. But I gotta get these squats done first. Oh, I can go over how to do a kick on a heavy bag. Trump loves the poorly educated. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's really cool, man. I'm sure looking back on it now, not boring at all. Yeah, but if you think about it, like all those days where it's 1600 and everybody's going home, and you're like, I'm up at the S3 typing, and I'm looking out the window, like going, fuck, stack another. I look like a fighter from Mortal Kombat. I'll take that as a compliment. James, what's up, my man? Ask me what's the topic. Really, there is no topic. I'm trying to do some lifting. It's because Christians, especially female purists, criminalize it because of husband falling into temptation. Yeah. Morally, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's like the oldest profession in the world, and I understand both arguments. My big thing is, in today's day and age, what comes with sex work is mostly expletive towards women, and it's really unfortunate. I've never met a stripper that's mentally well adjusted. Not saying I am either, though. I don't know if anybody was willing to pay for my dick, would I sell it? That's a good question. Russia is good. What do they get at? Ulysses? You do not look good, dude. What was the last time you saw a doctor? About 4 days ago. Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate that. So cool to see an openly gay streamer. Grampy on the Sticks. That's a good name, Gampy on the Sticks. So you ride the D? Is that what that is? Gampy's looking for he's trolling for dick on YouTube. It's kind of a weird place to look for that, to be honest with you. Doesn't look like the Undertaker. Nice. Yeah, my voice is like this because I dropped a barbell on my neck. Uh, all right, let's do some squat. Jamie likes to squat on the sticks. Would you put a dildo right here or duct tape it? Yeah. I'd be adding some tempo to your lifts. I'll tell you what, compared to regular squats, just adding that tempo to them, it really burns, man. Whew. You don't like your personality? I'm gonna try to find where I put those fucks, Nathan. Where did I put those? Yeah. All right. Just do me a favor, stick fucker. Don't tell my wife, okay? I don't want her to find out. Ooh. Pink Pony Club. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the Pink Pony Club. Oh, look. I won't go there. We'll get you demonetized on YouTube. I'm gonna just get rid of this guy. I don't usually ban people, but so what I look for in trolls is people that are funny, something I can work with. Like, you guys call me gay or whatever, but like, I need to be able to, like, the idea is you insult me, we laugh, and I say something back, and we go back and forth. Like, his shit sucked. It was like, there's just some idiot that has a sub 80 IQ that thinks calling people gay is funny. It's like, you're gay, dude. Gotcha. What if I was? What if I am gay? Got a problem with that? Like I said, just don't tell my wife. My wife probably wishes I was gay, to be honest with you. We've been married for 15 years. She's over me. She'd be like, yeah, now's a good time to have a midlife crisis and go find yourself. I can't. She's 47 years old, and I still love that fucking juicy ass of hers, man. I can't help it. I project negative vibes. I do it in a way that keeps people sticking around. You're gonna say I project negative vibes, but you'll be here for the next half hour saying the same shit over and over again. And so it makes me wonder, like, that's like a science project. How long can I keep people that don't like me engaged in the chat? How heavy is that? That's just 405 pounds. Oh no, that's 475. I'm a Marine. I gotta make sure I can count. Yeah, 475. I'm doing box squats, so you gotta be super careful when you get on the box. You want to make sure you keep your core really tight. You don't want to relax on it. So going super heavy is dangerous. You got to be super careful with this lift. But if you do this lift the way I do it, you will explode your leg strength. No, you know what, Tim Buck? I'm 100% sober and it sucks, man. I wish I had something. The guy, 4159. I'm new to this channel. I'm staying. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Normally I try to be funny with the trolls, but these guys aren't really working. They're not giving me much. So usually, like, I want people to say shit, fucked up shit to me. I want to laugh. But these trolls suck. Try harder, people. Like, I have a 14-year-old son, and his comebacks are better than your shit. Like, I just can't do anything with this. Yeah, it's 475 Minecrafting. How many people have you beaten to get here? I'm a non-violent man. I believe in non-violence. Now, I do participate in combat sports, but generally speaking, I'm usually the one getting beat up. My trainer calls me the world's strongest punching bag, and I don't think that's a compliment. He's like, God damn, that guy sucks, but he sure can take a hit. Look at him go. No, I got a fucking really mean left. Maybe I'll hit the bag after I'm done squatting. Am I doing anything currently to prevent another relapse? Yes, I didn't really want to get into that, but aside from telling you guys about it, uh, which I had no intention of, I got my wife, and then I still participate in a recovery. I go to meetings and things of that nature, and I'd gotten away from it. I hadn't done a meeting in years. Kind of really thought I was over it, to be honest with you. It was a nice vortex or vergence of circumstances. I had the issue with work, and then all that shit that happened up in Sacramento, and it just it kind of left me with some PTSD stuff. I had to go start seeing a counselor. I got a lawsuit pending. Um, for all you guys wondering what I'm talking about, I went up to Sacramento in August, and I had some really, really bad shit happen to me. I'm suing the company I used to work for, and after I've been in the industry for 20 years, I have an excellent reputation, and they it was bad. It was bad, and I got fucked up mentally, and I allowed myself to get into a depression. And instead of talking about it or addressing it, I festered, and I wound up relapsing. I had the opportunity presented to me, and I've been sober since 2013, and I let it go. And I don't honestly, I don't. I'm not even gonna apologize for it. At the time, it was what I needed. You know, I was on the edge, man. Like, I was contemplating harming myself, and drugs got me through it, and I actually had some fun. And then it started turning into like old habits, and then but luckily I was able to catch it before became a real problem. My wife knows about it. Everybody knows about it, and I'm back on the path that I'm supposed to be on. But things haven't gotten better as far as the stuff I've been dealing with. I'm still like a raw nerve, anytime I'm not distracting myself, and I do everything. Anyone asks me, I'm constantly busy. If I'm not at the park with my kids, or doing Muay Thai with my daughter, or painting Warhammer figurines, or playing the drums, or lifting weights. When I quiet myself, like when I'm trying to lie down and go to bed, and the intrusive thoughts come in, that's when the nightmare starts, and I don't sleep very well anymore. So I've been working with a therapist, and trying to get to a point where I'm just, the only way to deal with things is to expose yourself. Yeah, exposure therapy, and it's a process. I can put on a happy face, and things are okay. I'm doing fine, but underneath it, it's just like, yeah, I'm having a hard time, and I'm not managing things well, and that's, it is what it is. I'm doing the best I can. Spammer, I appreciate it. What? I think a smart gamer here. I'm pouring my heart out, and he's talking about unions and shit. I didn't see your question, brother. Thank you, Riggs. I appreciate that. I really do. I really appreciate that. I mean, for the longest time, I've been that guy. People want to get sober. They've always come to me for help, and I've always kind of said it, but I didn't really believe it. I said, we're just one drink away from being right back where we were. And in the back of my head, I knew that to be true, but I just didn't feel it. Like I haven't had urges or cravings. And here's the thing: this is how the devil's insidious, people. I didn't go looking for anything. It was presented to me. It came to me on a silver platter. In my lowest point, it was like, here you go, buddy. And I was like, damn, all right. um, I didn't go out looking for it. I didn't call anybody. Or it literally got delivered to me, and that's how insidious the devil is. You could go hide in a hole, and the old saying is, everywhere you go, there you are. So really, if you're not dealing with yourself, um, no matter how many changes you make to your surroundings, you will still always have to deal with you. And that's really where we need to. This is part of it. I think every man deserves to be as strong as he possibly can be, but you also have to maintain yourself spiritually and mentally. And if any one of those three things is not being addressed, it's just a matter of time before something bad happens. Uh, I don't understand alcohol. Alcohol is one of those things, man. Most people don't understand alcohol. Alcoholics are wired differently. I will go so far as to say addicts. Um, if you're not an addict, it's really super hard to explain our behavior because it doesn't make sense, not even to us. Think of it like a diabetic. Okay. My wife's uncle Rob, God bless him, passed away. Uh, Grossly overweight, didn't take care of himself, had a shit diet, injected himself with insulin. He's a type 1 diabetic. We used to go out to dinner, and he would inject, at the dinner table, would fucking inject himself with insulin. And I would ask him, I'm like, hey, what's up, man? And he's like, well, I want to eat that dessert. I'm like, what? Okay. So he's injecting himself with insulin so he can participate in defiling himself. Now, understanding, like, that's the closest thing I can explain to, like, being an alcoholic is, like, having this obsession um, that's not logical. It doesn't make any sense. Uh, and not having the power to resist it um, intrinsically. But we do have the power when we, team up, if you will. If I could take a pill to quit drinking for good, hell yeah, man. But you know what? It's kind of funny because, like, I think God works in mysterious ways because I'm not a super religious guy. As a matter of fact, I can't stand organized religion, but uh, I don't think I would have a relationship with God if I wasn't an alcoholic because I would not have the need to seek Him out. And they call it like foxhole prayers. When we're at our lowest, that's where you meet God. And I think it's a blessing in disguise, or it can be. You're not going to hell, smart gamer. Flex real quick. Do I have good lighting? Oh man, I'm getting pudgy, kid. I did put on some weight. All right. This is a lot of weight for this movement. I don't know if I should go any heavier than this. It's not that I can't squat heavier. It's just that the box squats, it's really dangerous. So, again, for anybody that hasn't been with me this evening, I'm doing dynamic box squats. And it's a super slow eccentric on the way down, 1, 2, 3, and then you fire off the platform with as much force and speed power as you can. With 200 pounds on my back, it looks like I'm launching it through the ceiling. With this much weight, it's probably not going to move that fast, but you want to be speed, speed, speed. I'm one of the most successful powerlifters for my age and weight in history, and the number one thing what's been my secret weapon is fast. Fast is strong. So every lift I've always done has been with as much force and speed as possible. Control the eccentric, fire like a shotgun. Oh yeah, I have shrunk for sure. Yeah, no, they measured me the other day. I went to the doctor, and I'm like right at 5'9", and I used to be almost 5'10". So I've shrunk, but actually it's not unusual. I mean, people do shrink as they get older, but this is what I'll say: the silent sniper. Don't start drinking for those that never have. I told my kids, I said, you could be an addict like Dad. You don't know. I would not want to deprive anybody of any experience. I think you should go out and experience everything. Drink, do drugs, whatever. But just go out knowing that you could be an addict. And if you are an addict, it comes with some severe consequences. So it's like knowledge is power, you know what I mean? Like, don't deprive yourself of the experience. Just use your knowledge to know that some things might not be for you. But, and you make the argument like people, when I was in the hospital, there was heroin addicts, and they said that they got addicted the first time they tried it. So there's dangers. Heroin's not a drug I've ever done. I've been hooked on opiates before, but I've never tried heroin. Not saying I wouldn't have. I'm actually kind of glad I didn't, because who knows how that would have turned out. The guy 4159. Yeah, discipline's not our strong suit. Um, but it's interesting because passion is. You find like alcoholics tend to have, well, issues like low self esteem, body dysmorphia. We're extremely competitive. Maybe it's because Dad didn't love us, or whatever. Fill in the ranks. Whatever happened in our childhood, we are super competitive when it comes to certain things. So even though we're super undisciplined people, there's areas of our life where we can excel and show discipline, like with me with training. But where I could say, look, you look at this guy's discipline. He works out every day. He's 51 years old. But I'm not. I'm mentally obsessed with being the best. And I'm willing to die to hurt myself to prove it. So it's not discipline, it's a mental illness. Discipline for me is forcing myself to take rest days. You know what I mean? Like when you want to train that fifth day during the week, but you know you're supposed to rest, that's discipline. Uh, Setting limits, yes, setting limits is discipline, yes, 100%. Is addiction in the genes? They have not proven that, Smart Gamer. I've read a lot of research over the years, and there's a ton of evidence to suggest that addiction has a genetic component. But there's just as much to suggest that you can become addictive, and it depends greatly on. Man, there's so much to it. I would say probably genetic, but there's also environmental, well, like heroin or smoking. Um, there's people that might not have addictive personalities, but smoking and heroin are so addictive physically that you and or help me out. What's another one? Um, but there's a lot of. I'm trying to see. I'm a dumbass that trains in his garage, so I don't know why I'm trying to be all scientific-y and stuff. I read some medical stuff once and had words that were big. Um, I do believe it's genetic. I do believe that you could pass it on to your kids. Um, but there's a lot of people that I was in recovery with that had no addiction in their family before them. So I don't know. All I know is here. This is what I. This is if you have a habit, right, and it's causing you consequences. It's harming you in some way, or it's harming the people you love. Like if you're working out and you keep injuring yourself and you can't stop, or you feel good when you eat and you're getting fat and you don't want to keep eating but you can't stop. If you have a habit that's causing you negative consequences and you can't stop even though you want to, that's addiction. Um, and that's only you can decide if you have that or not. And then, of course, if you do, and you ask somebody like me to help you, I'm obligated to do so because our number one mission is to um, help other people stay sober. That's our call to service, our call to action, and it's non-negotiable. Like that's the one thing we can never say no to. It's not saying you can't draw healthy boundaries. If you got like your uncle or brother living with you and he keeps relapsing and taking advantage, like he asks you for help, sometimes help means get the fuck out of my house. It's called tough love, you know? Tiger Oscar, I'm gay too. Well, good for you, brother. I don't know how it's relevant. You're the best when discipline is your driving force. Yeah, I agree. Tiger Oscar is married to a woman, even if he was gay. So, I don't know why people. I, what you stick your dick in is like the least interesting thing about you. I don't know, like whatever happened in America, where like sexuality became like a defining feature of somebody's personality. I kind of thought it was just built in. We want to like hump stuff. Okay, what makes you special? Hey, I'm gay. And retarded, apparently. Are you good enough for heaven? Ever lied or stolen before? Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, I've lied, I've stolen, I've lusted. I've never hated anybody. Uh, when should a person start TRT or trend? I'm, I'm only laughing because it's like, that's like saying like, should I should I take if I have a headache? Should I take aspirin or or morphine? Like, I have a mild ache. Should I use a little Bengay or like the trend and TRT? Like if there's a scale of anabolics and trends like aspirin or TRT's aspirin, trend would be like um, what's that shit they're putting in heroin that's killing everybody. I was, but TRT, hormone replacement therapy, is based on blood work. Do you have low hormones and do you need them replaced? Yes, no. How will I know? Go fucking see a doctor. Ms. Behavin', well, welcome. I'm glad you're here. We lift weights and talk shit. Oh, I don't know if I want to do this now. I gotta be honest with you. I did not want to be this douchebag that wore a smartwatch because I think I just fucking can't stand it. But this thing is so useful. It tracks everything. It tracks my blood pressure, which is the big thing. That thing, it can calculate roughly your body fat percentage. Tells you how many steps you've taken. How many steps have I taken? If I have one more motherfucker, I work construction. If I have one more office person come up to me and tell me that they did 16,000 steps, I just want to slap the teeth out of their mouth. Every day my phone tells me I made my steps. Why am I still fat? Because something needs to increase, dumbass. Your body adapts to stress. Like the iron workers often tell me that, like, iron workers are some of the hardest working construction workers, and they are super strong. They have to be for their job. But a lot of guys will tell me, like, why can't they get stronger? And I said, well, your body's going to adapt to what you do every day. So even though you're lifting huge, heavy iron and you're up there swinging hammers, and your body has adapted to the amount of stress that you put on it regularly. So you'll get strong enough to do that. Now, if you want to exceed that, if you want to get stronger, faster, whatever, something has to increase. Your body has to have something to adapt to. So that's really the secret. Like if people are taking 16,000 steps a day and they're not losing weight, try 17,000. And then when you get to 17,000, do 18,000. The number needs to increase. Something has to increase. With weightlifting, it's easy. You either do more reps or you do more weight. And usually you do them in tandem. As the reps go up, the weight goes up. And so forth and so on. And then you get to a point where your body is just not capable of getting stronger, your genetic potential. I would say, hardly any human that's ever lived has tapped to their true genetic potential. But once you start getting closer to that, that's when you have to start getting tricky. Linear progression, and then you can start doing like undulating progression or periodization, and that's just mostly for neuromuscular adaptation. Your body becomes more efficient at using or recruiting muscle mass. At a certain point, you're just not going to get any stronger. Let's see. I think identity politics and things such as LGBTQ are being shoved on the American people as this. Yeah, I agree with that. Mixed martial artist. Dude, I almost said that. Let's see. I think somebody called me a douchebag. Not just a douchebag wearing a knit hat. Yeah, you got it right. Yes, fucking douchebag with a. It's not knit though, is it? I like this hat. That's pretty fucking cool. My anime. Do you know Anatoly? Anatoly is not as strong as he is in those videos. Those are mostly fake weights. Anatoly is a very strong Olympic-style lifter, and for his weight, he is very strong. But I deadlift more than Anatoly. I definitely bench more than him. Yeah, he's strong. He's strong, but he's not international elite level strength. But he's a very strong guy. But those videos those are mostly staged. They're still funny as hell, though. I don't think I. See, I wonder though. I wonder if the weightlifters have to be in on it. He says, "I knew what you meant, psyop." How's the bicep? It's doing okay. It's healed up. It's just tiny. I need it to be bigger. I thought it would stretch out, and the doc told me that that's where it might come out a little bit, but that's where it's going to be. So I got to cheat and make the rest of the arm bigger now. Yeah, we'll figure it out. And, honestly, I've never been a bodybuilder anyways. I've always been a power lifter, so. All right, let's do this. Let's do it. Yeah. We'll do 3 sets. We'll do 3 sets. You wouldn't think that'd be deformed anymore with surgery. I had it done at the VA. No, they did a good job. I mean, the strength is there. Smart Gamer says, yo, if some of you fuckheads ask the most dumbest shit, yeah, I appreciate you looking up. They do say some stuff. Some people are just, hey, you work with what you got, brother. I'm fighting off a panic attack for my pre-workout. What kind of pre-workout are you taking? I appreciate that. That's Chase Secondland? A Shemery. Shemery, is that right? Hi, what's up, brother? Drink some water. How about some coffee? Oh, he's talking to, yeah. Smoke some meth. I would if I had some. I had to say that because someone said, do you work out? Well, think about it. So someone trolling asks, do you work out, right? That's the best you could come up with. If you're going to troll on YouTube and you can't come up with something funnier than that, what are you doing with your life? Like, if your purpose is to go on someone else's page and say fucked up shit to piss them off. You should be good at it. like think about like a comedian. They work on like 10 minutes of material, right? They write some jokes down, and they go tell them to their friends, and if their friends laugh, maybe they gotta rewrite them a little bit. Work on some material. If you're gonna troll, write some shit down. Say it to someone else first. Ask them, is this funny or offensive? And if they say something like it's offensive only because I feel like you're wasting my oxygen, it's offensive because of your presence, maybe you need to work on that a little bit. From Saudi Arabia, what is up? Well, welcome. Do I know you from somewhere? Maybe. Gym muscles, you can't lift no weight. You got me. What's good, big dog? Not much. Carpe diem. When somebody tells me I can't lift any weight, and you can literally like look at my YouTube channel, you can like go look at my page. I have to wonder, like, me being a competitive, elite, world-ranked powerlifter, when somebody says I can't lift weight, I usually kind of just go with it and go, yeah, you're right. But more often than not, it's usually coming from somebody who can't even do my warm-up. They're not even strong enough to do my warm-up routine. And he doesn't have anything on his page. You know what I mean? Like, they don't understand, like, what a powerlifter does. Now, go read my economics comment. Nah, that's not going to happen, brother. Ozzy passed away, man. Salt of the earth. You're going to come over and show me a good time. Oh, I wish you would, my friend. I wish you would. God, that would make my year. Well, I'm in Vegas. If you come to Vegas, hit me up. All right, second set. Do one more set after that. You wear shorts. No, my wife doesn't wear shorts as short as I do. These are Marine Corps Silkies, brother. You join the Marines, they issue these in boot camp. I want a PhD in economics by 22. That's a good goal. Please be safe. Lifting alone can be dangerous. Well, I could open my garage and holler at maybe some of the homeless people in the wash to see if they could come spot me. You can tell those plates are fake. You know what I always say is my plates might be fake, but my records are real. You could go on Powerlifting Watch and just look my records up. I think last year I finished third in the world for 40 to 50, 220 weight class. I think I finished third in the world, all federations. You can just look it up. Don't take my word for it. Plates are fake, records are real, so they're working. Anthony Cupin, what's up, wussy? Not much, faggot. How's your wife doing? Does she miss me? Oh, that's right, you're not married to a woman. Aw, he doesn't have any pictures of him either. Oh, you listen to Green Day, so yeah, you definitely guzzle cock. I'll call you cock holster. Boner garage. Anthony, welcome, brother. I hope you stick around. And you can talk as much shit as you want. I encourage it. Oh. Just pulling your chain. No, you're good, dude. You're good. This is what we do here. Are you an alcoholic? Yes, I don't drink though. Ishmael, good to meet you, brother. No, I do not drink. You look like the Undertaker. You're like the third person to say that tonight. Is that? I'm gonna take that as a compliment. Yeah, most people say I look like that fucker that played Gollum, Smeagol. Andy Richter, is that his name? Like, from the Avengers or from Gollum? uh, is that it's the hat and the facial hair combo? Yeah, whenever I don't. Actually, I could probably take the hat off. It's cold in the garage. Any advice for your 20-year-old self? Yes. Don't be the nice guy. She's not gonna love you. She'll fuck all your friends and still take all your money. Don't date strippers. And it's only gay if your dick's touched. No. Yeah, it's funny because people like they think I'm bald because like I'm not natural, obviously. Like, oh, you wear that hat because you're bald, and I'm like, ta-da! My 20-year-old self. God, dude, I was such a fucking mess at 20. Yes. Okay. Damn, okay, I had two paths I could have taken. So I played 1 year of junior college basketball for Harper College in Illinois. I was the Harper Hawks. And I got kicked off the team because I wasn't going to class. So I lost the partial scholarship I had. And then my dad said I couldn't stay. I had to join the military. Or he didn't say I had to join the military, but he's like, you can't stay here. So, hindsight being 2020, instead of doing either, I stole a car, and me and Jason, I don't remember his last name, we went from Chicago to Florida. And we made it to the Panhandle before the wheel fell off, and both of us got arrested. Where am I going with this? If I could do it all over again, I would have just got a backpack and fucking walked out of Illinois and went on an adventure instead of trying to go to school. I mean, and then from there, after I went and saw the world, because before I joined the military, I was homeless when I joined the military, but I was homeless in Florida. So I made it all the way from Chicago, Illinois to Florida, and we stopped in almost every single state on the way down there. And then I made it all the way up the coast to North Carolina, back all the way over to Alabama, and then I was homeless in Tallahassee, Florida, and that's when I went into a recruiter, and he immediately put me in boot camp. What would I do different though? Because so much cool shit happened. Some bad stuff happened too. Okay, so I definitely would have some discernment in who I hung out with because we got taken advantage of. Like I was a pretty naive kid, and we were hanging out with criminals. But the thing is they were the smooth type that made you think they were real friendly and that you were good people. And then the second you turn your back, they're just like, like I would have maybe used a little bit better judgment. Military is a good opportunity as long as nothing shady happens. I had shady shit happen in the Marines, but I would definitely say 100 times out of 100, I would do it again, 100%. As a matter of fact, I was wanting to re-enlist at a certain point. I don't know if they'll take a 51-year-old, but I bet I could still do the obstacle course. Hello from Texas, Phoenix Lighting. What's going on? How can I lose 100 pounds? Wallflower Commander. Well, you can lose 35 pounds right now by amputating one of your legs. Gone. 35 pounds right out the door. It's my new program, weight loss through amputation. Well, you could do an unbelievable amount of crystal meth. You could have somebody tie you up and lock you in a trunk. God bless you. Words mean more than you can see. Thank you, but I appreciate that, Rue. No, but seriously, if you want to lose weight, people they make it so much more complicated than it has to be. Like I've been maintaining a weight class for 10 years, and right now I'm 230. I put on some weight. Um, Anytime I want to lose weight or gain weight, I make a list of everything you're eating every day. Write it down for about a week or two. The more info you have, the better. And we're talking everything. The number one thing I hear from people that are overweight is that I don't hardly eat. I didn't eat anything today. And I've seen it. They like one friend of mine's got this little dish with some fucking lettuce on it. And I'm like, okay, you cannot break the laws of fucking physics, thermodynamics. You're getting calories from somewhere. You might not be eating shit in front of anybody, but in the middle of the night, you're waking up and you're palming fistfuls of lunch meat or whatever the fuck you're doing. Somewhere you're getting calories. So write down everything. You wake up in the middle of the night and you have a piece of cake or whatever, write it down. And it's just a list for you. You want good information. Now, here's something cool. Every single person in my chat room right now already is at a caloric equilibrium, meaning you are already consuming the amount of calories you need to live every day. Unless you're gaining 5 pounds a day or losing 5 pounds a day, you're at a pretty stable caloric intake. Now, you might have a slight excess to where you're gaining, or you might have a slight decrease to where you're losing, but for the most part, most of us are already at a caloric equilibrium. So if you can find out what that is by writing it down and kind of averaging out how many calories a day you require just to exist, you can then start cutting things that won't change your quality of life too much. Now, the reason why diets fail is because they suck. I don't diet. Got disconnected. YouTube's like, fuck off. I don't want to hear your bullshit, old man. No, but I hate dieting. I do what's called the 80-20 rule, which is like 80% of my diet's pretty clean. I know where it came from and what the ingredients are. And the other 20% is living life. I want to go out and have a fucking cheeseburger, whatever. But you're trying to lose weight, so you want to do it to where you cut maybe a pound or two at the most a week, something sustainable over time. The easiest way to do that is to find out how many calories you need every day to live, how much you're burning without excess, and then start getting rid of things. Like if you drink soda, which is drinking candy bars, switch to diet. If you like mayonnaise, get rid of mayonnaise, switch to mustard. Find little things that you can do to remove the big calories out of your diet without having to change too much to where it's going to affect the quality of your life and you're not going to keep up with it. Because most of us, you might not be able to give up all the things that you love to eat, but can you switch from regular soda to diet for a month? I mean, do you not? I mean, if you tell me you don't have that level of discipline, then we're going to maybe have to get some outside intervention going on. But most of us can make little changes like that, and just do it. Set targets for yourself that are realistic. Do it for 30 days. I became a carnivore for 30 days. Most of us can do stuff for a month. And then if you hate it or it's not working, you can go right back to what you were doing before. And the other thing is give it enough fucking time to work. A lot of people, they start programs, they start diets, they do all these things that are supposed to change their life, but they don't wait until the miracle happens, or they don't give it enough time to actually show results. Slow and steady wins the race, boys. How tall are you, Private Pile? I didn't know they stack shit that high. What? Is your major malfunction, numbnuts? Didn't your mommy and daddy give you enough attention? I didn't know they stack shit that high. You trying to squeeze an inch on me, boy? No, I'm 5'9". A jelly donut. Get the fuck off my obstacle. I wash myself with a Rago stick, yeah. Are you natty? I'm about as natural as a Cliff Bar. 6'5", should be weighing in about 230. So that whole outdated height weight index presumes a lot of things. Like I'm way over. I'm way over what my target weight should be. I haven't been close to that for 20 years. And in March, when I was getting ready to compete powerlifting, I was exactly 220 pounds, and I was carrying 10% body fat. So if I would have gone by the height weight index, I'd be over by 30 pounds. Diet depends on what is your objective. See, I don't know. So the pew pew way. So I'm not a. This is just me. This is my opinion. I'm not a big fan of cutting, and the reason why, especially at my age, bulking and cutting, making huge swings in your body weight. Older people don't have the metabolism to recover from that as easily as younger people. I did a water cut for competition, and I lost 20 pounds. It was a pretty brutal cut, and I didn't recover right. I had a bad competition, and if I would have done that 10 years ago, that'd have been like nothing. Whatever. You just refeed in the morning, drink a lot of water, you're good to go. But it hammered the shit out of me. So, and here's the thing: the reason why I say that is because you don't need to. You don't need to make huge cuts. Um, that being said, whatever works for you, I don't. I wouldn't want to be the one to say that it's not good, or I'm just like all I'm sharing is what I've had experience with and what works for me. When you said the laws of thermodynamics, remember that fact? Longest shark's 24 minutes compared to the 7-minute average, yet they talk about environmental issues the most. Right? These same motherfuckers, the second you discuss the rape of the earth to get lithium or like neodymium or whatever other, you know, rare earth elements they need to power their fucking electrical vehicles, and oh god, the hypocrisy. That's what it is. It's just the hypocrisy. Crystal meth, man. It would be. I used to do some meth back in the day, brother. Don't worry, I'm not a fan of cutting because of my sport. You have to be 200 pounds max to be selected the morning of the contest. Highland Games. Oh man, do you have a link to check it out? Oh man, I would love to see that. I got one guy that I know here in Vegas that does the Highland Games, and he's a fucking monster. Cutting is for pussies. How the uppercut do in the gym? Um, Honestly, I haven't been training Muay Thai in a while. I've been training at home, my daughter, but I haven't gone back to the gym yet. I've been kind of just holding off. Like honestly, I've had a rough month. This last month's been really difficult for me, and you know what? Total subject change, squirrel. Instead of doing this last box squat, I'm gonna just peel it and do a few sets. Come as you are. Oh, oh shit. Okay. Yeah, but now I can't talk. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Nancy. Smart Gamer water. It's okay if it's flavored sparkling. Whew. So, back in March, I was squatting almost 700 pounds. Deadlifting, I did 720 for 2 on the trap bar. Bench somewhere in the 400 range. Can I get back to that? Well, I did dynamic box squats, went up to 475 for a few sets, and then did that retarded drop set, which is, I'm really going to regret in the morning. It's already midnight. You guys want me to stay on? Keep going? I mean, I'm way past my bedtime. I can keep going. All right. I'm going to break out my least favorite, but most useful piece of equipment. Or would you rather I do heavy bag stuff? This thing is Satan's butt fucker is what I call it. Bring it in a little bit here. It's like having sex with a gorilla. It ain't over till the gorilla says so. Where'd he go? Okay. Five cans of Red Bull. Oh, yeah. Not a good idea. My computer. No, I don't do running. I do a lot of walking. But my cardio is Muay Thai. So I'll do pyramids where you hit the bag 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and you go up to 10, and then back down to 1, and then you set a timer to do it. By the time you're done with that, even if you don't want to learn how to box or throw a punch, just doing that, you'll never run a treadmill again. Icy hot your balls, yeah. Smells like a Bengay factory in here. Why does it smell like flop, sweat, and failure? Why does it smell like your mother's disappointed in you? Yeah. Hell yeah, you can ask me questions. So, the first question is, what is this fucking contraption? This is a sissy squat rack thing. And the idea is like, it's really, really good for bulletproofing your knees. You turn your feet slightly out, and then the more weight you can put, so staying upright, so instead of leaning forward, puts the weight right on the knees. And this hammers these quads. Jesus loves me. Okay. Oh, I got rid of my bench. And we'll get a kettlebell and add some weight to those. Now, if you hate yourself, this is an outstanding piece of equipment. Now, how does it stack up to, like, say, like your old standard leg curl? I'd say they're different. I mean, they achieve mostly the same results, but the way they are on the joints hits differently. So, if you've got like ACL reconstruction or surgery, something like this would be better than the leg curl machine because the plane of movement is your body. So you're going naturally. Where the plane of movement on a leg curl machine is the fulcrum set by the rollers and the little leg rest thing, which can be an unnatural amount of torque on your knees. So it's kind of one of those, like, they're pretty much the same, but Robert. Yeah, I think barbell. Yeah, I agree. Are you going to competition? I'm going to train as if I'm going to compete. I want to see how strong I can get. Oh, you know what? we could kill two birds with one stone. This is this PRX barbell. This weighs 35 pounds. That's good for doing. Lord of mercy. That's pretty retarded, huh? Show us the abs. All right. I'm a little bloated right now. As somebody said, oh no, that was a fart. It was the leather on the chair, but don't get me wrong. Yeah, I'm gonna try to compete beginning of the year, mixed. I'll get it back. Still can see these. So Lex, this is I had surgery. I took some time off. So this is me trying to get back into it. No tattoos. I got a bunch of piercings, but no tattoos. And you know what's funny? I'm a tattoo artist. I'm a tattoo artist. I've given dozens of tattoos. And I don't have a single one. Put the estrogen nips away. My milkshake brings all the boys out of the yard. Damn right, it's better than yours. You know, looking's free, buddy. Touching will cost you. I don't have anything against tattoos. I just never. So here's the problem. I'm an artist. I used to be a professional illustrator. I used to draw for Top Cow Comics, which is a subsidiary of Image, back in the 90s. I didn't do that very long because it didn't pay well. I wish I would have stuck with it. Okay, long story short. I got into tattooing. I got a tattoo gun. I got the full rig right over there set up. And I do color, fading, everything. But I don't have a single tattoo. And people ask me, well, how can you be a tattoo artist without having a tattoo? And I'm like, well, why do you need to have something on you to do something? And I don't, think about it. You got to really, really love a fucking picture if you're going to put it on yourself permanently. And I don't know. I just don't, I'm too much of a critic, you know? No, 82nd, I took second place, not third. I placed twice at Worlds, silver medal. But see, here's the thing, 82nd, have you ever won a medal for anything in your life? Like, have you even competed before? I don't know. I think placing second at Worlds is fucking awesome. It's the highest level of competition an amateur can achieve, and I placed silver medal 2 years in a row. I took the USPA state record, or national records, for my weight and age. I finished third ranked in the world for 44 to 48, 220. I don't know if I'd ever get one, though. Dude, in order to catch Vassal, I'd have to do a lot of drugs. I don't know. I think I did pretty good. Pretty good for the old man. But it's like somebody that tells you should talk more and train more or whatever, and you wouldn't place third is coming from a guy who's never competed in his life. It's like, who gives a fuck about your opinion? You're irrelevant. You know what I mean? You're like a fan at a basketball game talking about how Scottie Pippen should stay. No, you don't play for the Bulls. Nobody fucking cares about you. But you are right. There are steps I could take. Am I willing to do that, though? It's kind of like a work-life balance, you know? Can you even bench 300 pounds? 82nd? You ever put 3 plates up? Yeah, Scotty's probably a bad reference. I love Scottie Pippen, by the way. How fast can I run a mile? The fastest I've ever run in my life was boot camp graduation. I ran 3 miles in 17 minutes and 59 seconds. And that's the only time I ever beat 18 minutes for 3 miles. I never did it again. Now, in all my years in the Corps, I usually average in the 19s. So right around 6 minutes, six and change, 6 minutes for a mile. Why are you so uncomfortable in your own skin talking about your own skin? Oh, probably got body dysmorphia and psychological issues from my childhood that are unaddressed. I don't know. You guys help with that, so that's kind of nice. The good old bookworm. Eric got called to the office while we were playing, and I outlasted the last guys before he came back and was dubbed winner. Oh, yeah. What's up? Prophet Fear's in the house. And it was because the word was achievement, and I was already grinding Left 4 Dead achievements all day. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what we asked for. Who can take a baby? Nail it to a board. Swing it all around by its umbilical cord. The infantry can. Who can take your grandma? Push her off a cliff. Race her to the bottom and fuck her before she's stiff. The infantry can. That was back in the early 90s before political correctness defiled the military. What was it? Who could take your girlfriend? Who could take your mother? Put a pack upon her back. Fuck her in the ass till she has a heart attack. The infantry can. And my old threes in there, the old cadences they used to call when they weren't around public. Not the old Model 840 in a tank full of gas. Not that fucking gunny highway bullshit. I forgot Gen X exists. Most of Gen X forgot Gen X existed. A random mayor started calling the UN for help because Donald Trump's deportations. Which random mayor? Which city? Man, I don't know about that. Solve the shit in the U.S. Yeah, I agree with that. Taliban, what do you think about that? I don't really care. I think all of those countries would be better if we glassed them off the face of the earth. That way they wouldn't keep populating everybody with the dumbest motherfucking humans that have ever existed. The fact that they encourage fucking their cousins and marrying them, they're churning out sub 80 IQ populations, and they're like literally not talking shit. I'm being objective. They are the dumbest fucking people ever in history, and they keep getting dumber year after year, which is why they have to colonize. They like to throw that word around. Oh, we're colonizers. Yeah, like coming from you, that's rich. They have to infest other stable, awesome places to live with their fucking Sharia law bullshit, so they can enforce cousin fucking and making everybody retarded, and so they can't read. And don't get me started. This is what I think about it. I think that place was a shithole, and we should have just fucking dropped a bunch of daisy cutters all over it and called it a goddamn day. But we couldn't do that because they had poppy fields. What can I tell you, man? Pfizer's got to get its opium from somewhere. Some people believe in... that whole Bin Laden thing. I'm not a big conspiracy theory guy, Anthony. But didn't it bother you guys that it was like, oh yeah, by the way, we killed Bin Laden and we buried him at sea already? What? They shot him out of a cannon like Bozo the Clown? What do you mean? I mean, that whole thing was just like boxed and wrapped up and sent to you a little gift, and I'm like, what? You don't think some photo evidence? I don't know. I mean, yeah, you really did bury him at sea. This guy said so. He's a SEAL and he wrote a book. Yeah, okay. I don't know. It's like right about that time, our special forces, which up to that point had been like the most secretive people on the planet, are all of a sudden all like cashing in and writing books. Like, cool, man. I don't really, you're like the gunner on the helicopter, Full Metal Jacket. How can you shoot women and children? It's easy. You just don't bleed them so much. No, I'm actually, I believe in a strict moral code of nonviolence. Now, that does not mean I can't defend myself. It's called fuck around and find out. But as far as like acting aggressive, coercive, manipulative, I'm against anything that makes you do something you don't want to do against your will. I believe that's immoral. But I also believe that if you harm me or threaten to harm me, I can use as much force up to and including lethal to end that threat. So don't start no shit, won't be no shit. You know what I mean? Let's live and let live. Yeah, so Governor Greg Abbott of Texas had to sign a bill banning Sharia law. Thank fucking God. Because these people were creating Epic City something. So here's the thing, you say like it's a free country, you should be able to do whatever you want. Well, you can't just write your own laws. Now, if you have a community that's homogenous and it's 100% your population, generally speaking, places that have been that way historically in the United States, were left free to govern themselves. And rightfully so. Who am I to say how you should live? However, once your law encompasses the lives of anyone that's not a willing participant, such as, I don't know, the fucking residents that live there and have for years, you don't just get to come in and dictate how they have to fucking live their lives. That shit should be thrown out of the country with extreme prejudice. And I have no issues saying that shit. Bye bye. Getting unalive by Obama and Clinton. Yeah, right? No shit. Sharia courts actually deal with custody disputes. Some women had to ask the U.S. to justice system. Yeah, exactly. You don't get to just make your own government. Oh, but there's a flip side to that argument, though. Like I said, if it's a, like they had the Hmong population in Michigan, where the people that came from Cambodia. Now, but they didn't have anything official. They didn't have like their own law department, but they were generally left to govern themselves with little interference from the state. And, but they also didn't have like a history of like abusing women and children and fucking farm animals or your cousins. So, I mean, I don't know. No prayer bells. Oh, yeah, and if I gotta hear that shit, oh my God. I will blow that motherfucker up if I gotta hear it 4 in the morning. Like, fuck that. You goddamn right I'm a Marine, Mustafa. Do I like Trump? I'm ambivalent to Trump. I voted for him. I support him. But as a person, I think he's funny. I love his sense of humor, and I like how he does mic drops and shit like that. But, like, I don't have any pretense that he's like a good person or anything like that, but that's not what I pay him for, right? Like, and then that's the other thing like Americans get wrong. It's like say you hire a CEO of your country or company, and you pay him to whatever increase the sales of Xbox or fucking pick something, and then you find out like, well, he cheated on his wife. Okay, did the sales of the Xbox go up? Yes or no? Because I don't really give a fuck who he cheated on. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not paying the man. Like, it's like we as a public get hung up on the dumbest shit, and that's on both sides. But if you think about it, it's kind of interesting because you got like Bill Clinton, right, who's been the most fucking touchy-feely president of history or any politician, and nothing has ever happened to that man, ever. Nothing. They bring it up all the time. They talk about it. But has he suffered a single consequence for the proven factual, no. And why? Because it doesn't really matter. Nobody cares because he's not antithetical to your ideology. I'm not saying you specifically, but you know what I mean? Like, he's on your side, so it's okay. He can do whatever he wants. And I think we had a little bit of that going on the with Trump, for sure. But then you come to me where, like, I am vehemently anti-collectivist in government. Like, I would say ideologically an anarchist. Now, obviously, that's stupid in a country that's got 300 million people in it, and as diverse as we are, you have to have rule of law. But if you could pick any ideology that I align myself with, it is anarchy. I believe in not no rules, but no rulers. Who the fuck gives you the right to tell me what to do? Your life is not my fault, and mine's none of your goddamn business. Get the fuck off my lawn. That's my ideology. But, you ask me for $20, if I got it, I'll give it to you. So it's like, everybody's caught up on like this. If we vote hard enough, someone's going to fix everything. No, he's not. Like, nobody gives a fuck about us. We're tax cattle. Your job is to go to work and pay your taxes so that they can keep giving Israel money. I don't know, whatever. Gender studies in Pakistan. Fucking pick something. We don't give a fuck. And that's why I always tell people to forget about the fucking federal government and what's going on in Congress, and then they start participating in your local level where's the law being enforced? Who are the people that affect you specifically? Your police officers, your county commissioners, your fucking, the environmental, whatever, whomever. Who's the ones that are writing you tickets for your registration or whatever? The speed limits in school zones, that kind of thing. You start going to your local school boards, your local town halls, and you could change the way things are enforced where you live, and that's how people can really change government. And it should start from the bottom up and not the top down, because here's the thing, if you look at like the Department of Education, how can some asshole in Washington know what's good for your kid in fucking Helsinki, Missouri? They don't fucking know. So what they have is they have a lowered standard so that no child's left behind, and now all of our fucking kids are retarded. No, there should be no Department of Education. It should be you as a parent and your local school at the state level, and you know, we bring each other up individually, starting from the bottom up, right? But people are hung up on what Trump supposedly did or didn't do, and to me, it's like I don't even fucking care. Like, I just don't give a shit. Like, is he lowering my grocery bills? Like, are we gonna kick China's ass? What are we doing? Quiet Squirrel, what's up, my man? My name is Mud. Toby Pipson, I love your channel. Can I have a big shout out to my best friend, Mike Cunt? Yeah, and his brother Jack Mahogoff. Fuck the teachers union. Yes, I agree 100%. Is he lowering your grocery bill? Nope. I got a nip slip today. Yeah, that happens. Just think of it as like, look, it's free, but touching will cost you. What do you think refugees take over your country? I think that if you want to come to my country and you're not willing to assimilate to my way of life, you should be. Yeah, Pinochet. He used to drop people from a helicopter into the ocean. Yeah. I'm reporting you. Oh, have at it, brother. Let me know how that works out for you, rapper. Toby Pipson. If you were to guess how much do we spend on average per child in a year in the U.S. for public schools, I don't know. I have no idea, but I know it's a lot because we were going over like, so whether my kids participate in the school meals, because I go to a charter school, so it's still, yeah, it's kind of a weird thing where it's like, anyway, the question you asked is how much it costs per kids, and they have no kid will be turned down lunch ever. Your kid comes to school without food, they're going to feed him, period. And the way it's set up is whether you have money or not, if you ask for food, they give it to you. They don't look you up to see if you qualify. So as a result, every parent pays for that. I don't know, man. It's like, we're getting into the school thing, and that's a whole different argument because it's like I don't agree with the government's intervention of education to begin with. The laws govern it. The fact that like I don't agree. I don't agree with our educational system. And but then it's like, do you want uneducated children? So what are we doing right now? So right now we're educating kids enough to get into these colleges that allow them to get into debt for the rest of their lives. That there's non-negotiable and non-transferable. You cannot get rid of student loans at all, no matter what, ever. You can't claim bankruptcy. They're with you for life. And they're getting, not only are they churning out activists that dislike this fucking country, and we're the most free and prosperous society that's ever existed, and you don't like America? Go the fuck back to Somalia, then, you. What are you talking about? You're an office, dipshit. Like, oh, man. I just blow. Dude, I'm on my soapbox. Sheep in 6338. How's Charlie doing? It's been some time. I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. Oh, Bobby called me 2 days ago, and I didn't call him back, and I feel like an asshole. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly, smart gamer. Sometimes I think Trump is controlled opposition. I've wondered about that too, just because. So when he promised all that stuff right before he got elected, I really believe he meant everything he said. He definitely didn't get shot on purpose. Like, there's people that said that he faked that too. I'm going to tell you right now, as a primary marksmanship instructor in the United States Marine Corps, the minute of angle on that rifle, there is no sniper in the world that would take that shot, and you would be insane to allow someone to do that. So the idea that, like, they said he hit his ear, or they had the thing planned. The minute of angle on that weapon was like 3 inches. So that's your tolerance of error. No matter how good of a shooter you are, you have 3 inches of tolerance. that is built in, and you can't get any more accurate than that at 150 meters. So that's bullshit. But he has not really got a lot of it done. When the whole Epstein thing, and it's like, you know, that was a blatant lie. Like, why do these motherfucking politicians think we're so stupid that we won't remember like a month ago? And anybody that votes Democrat is so dumb that they've proven that to be true because they elected Joe Biden. Like, that motherfucker's been in office for 100 years, and he's got video of him being blatantly racist that you could go look up and watch. Like, the whole Ukraine thing. Like, he had that guy that was investigating. I mean, basically extorted them for funding to get rid of that dude, and he said that shit on camera. And people are so stupid that they can't even go look it up. But I don't know. They're all crooked. I'm gonna say this: of the two, you got Weekend at Bernie's. You got a fucking sock puppet, and at least Trump talks shit. You gotta like that. I mean, it is kind of funny to watch him go at it with the press corps. Pull 220 kilograms with mild discomfort. You guys want to see me pull 220 kilograms? Put the camera back. You know what? Fuck it. You guys want me to do some deadlifting? I'm gonna use a trapper though. But what I'll do is I'll set lumber up, the wood right here. Because the trapper's got handles that are 4 inches higher than normal. I'll put 4 inches of lumber so that it puts it at the right height. That way I'm not cheating. 220 kilograms. How much weight is that? I'm a dumb Marine. I can't math good. This barbell weighs about 70 pounds. Big heavy steel motherfucker. Yeah, buddy. I get rid of the shoes for this though. I guess I don't have to. I think since I already squat, I don't have to warm up with one plate. Yeah, buddy. Yep. Yeah, I'll start with that 315, 335 roughly. You birds suddenly appear anytime you are near. They long to be close to you. Squats and deadlifts in the same night. Let's go. Zordon is a socialist retard. Yeah. Retards for sure. All right, we're going to do pounds to kilograms here. 220 kg to L B S. Bam. 485. Oh, fuck yeah, I got that easy. Maybe. I don't know. It's been a while. That's a lot of weight, though, so if you're telling me you pulled 220 kilograms, that's very impressive, sir. Who was it that said that? Let's go back up here. Profit fear 485. Single deficit. Holy shit. That's I haven't done deficits in a while. That's what I should do. Profit polls. Fuck, man. So my favorite deadlift is Profit Fear's stiff leg deadlift. But I did squats. I'm gonna be a fucking lazy shithead Profit. I'm just gonna fucking use the trap bar. But I did put some dunnage under there, so it's at least the right height, you know. And so I should just do stiff leg. Well, can I even do it with this? No, we'll just do regular. We'll just pull. Let's not complicate the shit out of it. I'm feeling guilty now because that's what I should be doing. That's the correct exercise. So for all of you, the number one thing that got my deadlift as strong as it was Profit Fear's stiff leg deadlifts. For sure. But not even... Yeah. And it also saved my back because I was injuring my back a lot. Yeah, I get, you know what? Every time I drink coffee, I get black stuff all over it. Probably dehydration. I do live in a desert. You're locked out. Yeah. Let's go right up to 495. Oh. Oh, let's see. We got how old am I? 51. Stuart. Normal stiff leg doesn't look like a stiff leg. I'm not doing stiff leg tonight. That's what I should be doing. Who's he wishing the worst for? Giggity giggity. A cycle right now. I'm just on testosterone. Can you buy me a gym membership? Yes, but you do recall the whole like me losing my job thing, right? But yeah, I got you covered, brother. I'm basically living off of my retirement, so I can just I 401k that I've saved up. I just withdrew a shit ton of money, and I've been enjoying an extended vacation. Everybody's like, "Who you have food stamps now?" Like, no, bro. I've been working for fucking over 20 years. I've got hundreds of thousands of dollars in a retirement fund. I'm fine. I don't want to spend it all either because like there's two ways you can do it. You can do a hardship withdrawal, which they tax like 20% of, or you can take a loan, which you're supposed to pay back, and it goes interest and everything gets paid back into the account. I just turned 51 yesterday. Oh man, um, can I recommend steroids? No, it's never too late. I'm glad to hear you're getting after it. I would say so. As far as like people ask me like about PEDs, and I can't endorse anything. I can't say no or yes. I would say get what you need based on your doctor. Are you a bully? I try not to be. I'm jealous, team. HVAC, fuck yeah. I was a steel worker. A carpenter. Well, I was a carpenter union before the housing market crashed back in '08. And then after that, I became a steel worker, and I did that for 13 years. And then I did superintendent and safety manager, and that's what I'm currently doing. This is the first break I've taken since 2012. So I'll be honest with you, I haven't been in a hurry to get back to work, but I had 3 interviews this week, and they I guess I'm gonna be going back to work. I like the job. I like doing what I do for a living, but you know what I like doing more? Nothing. I like to. I want to get my YouTube channel going. I like painting Warhammer figurines. I like going to the park with my kids. uh, One of the econ things I study was welfare reform. Right now, like, yeah, I could do it. I couldn't even claim unemployment if I wanted to. They turned me down. I qualify for no welfare whatsoever. Uh, they give that shit away. I've worked my entire fucking life. I've more than 3 times overpaid into Social Security, and I can't get assistance. There's no fucking way. Um, I only the only option I had. Well, I could have went. I had. See, here's the thing about construction. You can go right back to work. Um, there's enough work going on in town where guys just go from one job to the next. But I didn't want to go back to work. I wanted to stay home and fuck off. I finished building my chicken coop. I built the kids a playhouse. I built a tree house in the front yard. That's coming along nicely. I'm working on the second level of that bitch. I've been doing a lot of stuff. And I'm not getting paid for it. As a matter of fact, I'm paying for it. Uh, but I like doing it. Your nips are staring back at me. I know, it's a feature. See, I can tell like I've lost a little. See the wave that rides up? Yeah, I lost a little size. I'll get it back. Low key having a gym at home is nice. Dude, it's awesome. This is my man cave. I got my bags over here. I put that one on a rail so it slides across the ceiling. And I got my drum set and my daughter's. I got my workbench, and then right now it's got covered with Warhammer figurines. I got a Smith machine in the back, specifically for Prophet Fear. And guess what? I did yesterday or 2 days ago. Prophet. I did um, not sissy squats, hack squats. Where's the ones where you bend your knees all the way forward using the Smith machine? So I'm starting to use it to do some of your. I need your guidance though. He's got for anybody that's wondering what I'm talking about. Go to Prophet Fear's page. Do it now. And he has some outstanding exercises for bulletproofing joints, range of motion, flexibility. I mean, and strength. A lot of guys, there's some fat fucks on the internet that give him shit about his strength because of the Bumper plate? I don't even remember. What was it for? He was doing these stiff leg deficit pulls, and it's like, what do you have, 3 or 4 plates on there? It didn't look like a lot. But I do that exercise. I do them. And I'm going to tell you right now, the amount he was working out with was more than I could do. And I have a deadlift that was close to 700 pounds. So they're full of fucking El Caca del Toro if they think that kid's not strong. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Most of them bitches couldn't even bend over to tie their shoes, let alone do a stiff leg deficit pull. So I don't know what the fuck they're bitching about. Watched you on Grinder. Hell yeah. Consult your doctor. Can you play some Ozzy? Yeah, I can actually. I have poor hormonal health, bad diet, bad posture, and I'm weaker than teenage girls. Are there any tips you can give me to help me solve these issues? Bruno, there's. I would need to get. I need to know way more context. Um, Hit me up on Instagram, and we'll talk off. We'll talk off stream because there's a lot there. I need to know. I don't know enough about you to give you any kind of, other than the cliche advice that everybody gives on YouTube, like make sure you're dedicated and show up. You really need me to tell you that shit? Pick the weights up and put them down, and I'll do it again. No, but seriously, like, we're talking about hormonal health. So I actually have a guy I can put you in touch with. He's a nurse practitioner, but he specializes in hormone therapy. And then I also have a physical therapist I work with. We get some. I'm a retard in the gym, but I have a good team. Join me on deficit single day. Yeah. Well, a matter of fact, if you guys want to do, uh, I don't know how to set up like a little competition or like, I don't really like to do competitions, but like I think if you guys wanted to do something together, like we could all do stiff leg deficits and post the videos, I'd be down with that. Uh, a lot of his exercises aren't ones that you do to compete. like, yeah, who could do the? I have the strongest tibialis curl. Could be using under 300 pounds for more reps to the toes. Yeah. So, and that's the other thing is like, yeah, you had that you showed me the first time you showed me to go to stretch the lats out. Oh my dude, I was fucking sore for a week. I can do pull-ups with weights up to 100 pounds, heavy fucking dead rows with 5 plates, and nothing gets my back sore. But you had me just do that little stretch at the end, and I was torched, and it was fucking awesome. Tibia races at the king. Hell yeah! All right, let me lift this shit. This is 220, right? Ow! Barbell hurts. Like, what was it? Pet Detective? Whew. Oh. Thanks, guys. Fuck, it's almost 1 a.m., guys. I do know. I'm going to get offline, but I had a really good time. So I'm going to try to stream tomorrow. I've been trying to put 2 days in a row together. And I'm trying to get back at it. Do you think I should, what do I bench? Right now, the most I benched since surgery was the other day. I hit 3 plates. No, I put 335 on the bar for 4 reps. Yeah, at 335. Amphetamine story that sticks out. Amphetamine story. Most of mine were tragic booze stories. Oh, okay. Amphetamine story. I got one. Uh, there's this bar on Boulder Highway called Four Aces, biker bar, and we go in there and they were doing lines in the bathroom, and I just happened to walk in there. The guy was like trying to push the door shut, and I'm like, I gotta fucking pee. So I go in there, and I'm looking at him, and he offers me a line. So I was like, all right. So he gives this giant. I go back and we're playing pool, and this kid's got this fucking stick he takes out of his case and he screws it together. And he's like, "You want to play?" And I'm thinking, "Oh, this guy's gonna try to hustle." And he loses the first game really badly. Now, mind you, I'm not that great of a pool player. I can hold my own. I'm okay. The next one, he does what you expect him to do: raise the bet. All right, here we go. But I did it anyways. And he fucking lost again, and it was comically bad. Like, this guy was bad. And I'm like, okay, so is he really going to try to gouge me? So, third game, fourth game. I'm into this guy for like $200 now. He sucks. But the whole time, I'm very polite and friendly. And then when we got done, I said to my buddy, and I guess he heard me, I go, that guy's like the fucking worst hustler on the face of the earth. And as I was walking out of the bar, they get that, the little door, the little area so the air doesn't get out, the temperature control zone. As soon as I open those doors, wow, right in the face. That's what I got this from. That little beauty right there. He hit me so hard, and then I fell to the ground. I was laughing. My nose is blood. I got blood going all the way down. Laughing my ass off. He runs out, dives into a car, and drives away. And I'm like, like I wasn't even mad. Like, if you fight me like a man. I don't know. Then I went back in, and this is only a tweaker, right? And I sat at the bar, and I was like, we ordered another one. The bartender's looking at me like, you need to leave. And I'm like, what did I do wrong? And he's like, did you see yourself? I'm like, He tells me to go in the bathroom and look in the mirror. I've had my nose broke like 4 times. It's fucking awesome. But that's not really a meth story. I mean, that could have been just booze. But those are the kind of nights we used to have. Those were good times. I would have bought him a drink. I would have said, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't realize I pissed you off. But yeah, Andy. How hard is pendulum squats? Let me see. Let me look that up real quick. Let's make sure I'm pendulum squats. Oh, I'm not a big fan of the pendulum. Hack squats are good, but pendulum squats, it's not that they're bad. I just don't like anything that puts you on a single plane of motion as your primary exercise. Now, for accessories, like using the Smith machine or... Because I really like belt squats. I think belt squats are fucking awesome, especially if you get the belt really as close to the fulcrum as possible. No, the other way, as far away from the one that makes it heavier. Because you can overload the shit out of them and really hammer the the areas that you use for like squatting and deadlifting. But as a replacement or a prime moving exercise, I think that the only way to go is free weights, barbell. Now, you might disagree with me on that. I mean, what do you think, Prophet? Ultra stabby sissy squat partials. There you go. Yeah. I mean, pendulum. I mean, I don't know. I felt like when I used. Here's the thing: is like I used to use the leg sled, press sled all the time, religiously, and then, but it never moved the needle on my squats ever. How is it I can leg press 2,000 pounds, but can't squat 315? And and the reason why is because it doesn't work your core. So really, the focus should be building stability in your core out because leg strength for most people is already there. Party with 3 lines and 1 horizontal. I choose that one. Stay away for 15 hours and staring at the ceiling. I like it, Stuart. Suitcase carries, yeah. What supplements can I take to gain muscle faster? You know, there's not one goddamn thing that you can take that's legal. Creatine is the exception, maybe, but there's just nothing. There's not. We were looking at a study that and it's a legitimate one. If you eat 12 eggs a day, it has anabolic effects. But like, good lord, what would your ass smell like? And at what point do you just go, fuck it, man, I'm just gonna take some testosterone? You're 40. I'd go see a doctor, get your levels checked. That being said, if you don't need it, I'm not going to tell you to take it. I'm not going to endorse that because I worked my ass off for a fucking natural physique. I did not go on anything until I was almost 46 years old. So I don't like the idea of guys getting stronger. Like, so here's the thing. I got this surgery and everybody, like all the guys that usually talk shit to me say, yep, you're going to lose all your thing. All your fat's going to go away. Did it? Did I lose anything? I went off of all the anabolics. I hardly trained. I haven't trained in over a month. I haven't done squats in 2 months almost. I had this natural. I'm not going to lose it. But if I had gained all of this using anabolics, I would have lost it. I for sure lost all the gains that I got from the anabolics I'd taken. And I was right about where I was when I was natural, when I was 45 years old. Core work is the best stuff. Zercher carry, farmers carry, all of them. Dude, so when you're doing core work, you should vary it as much as possible, and don't forget the transverse plane, which is side to side, shoulders back, side to side. Transverse plane. What would be a good one for that? You know, you could do like lots of kettlebell work. I used to love just doing like simple, like, you know, and then with the kettlebells, we used to go between the legs and around the back, and sandbag work. And so when I'm doing twist, I like to bend over and do it because it puts the weight right on the obliques. Or, you know, you can lock yourself into a Roman chair and do the reverse. So, peptides, I don't know much about that because I haven't used SARMs. The only peptides I've used are the healing ones, TB500, BP157. I was told that both of those do have anabolic effects. I don't know. I know that they really helped me heal. Landmine twist, yeah, yep. Hola Mexicola. So it's working the transverse plane. It's, you know, instead of push, pull, bend over, you're working twisting. You want to strengthen your core, but most people, including me, neglect the transverse plane. How did you get this stuff? Dude, you know what my first gym was? It was a fucking landmine. I stuck a barbell in a corner of a room and I had 2 plates. And over time, I just acquired these from estate sales. This thing, I got this rack from helping a guy move 10 years ago. The only thing I spent money on was the barbells. Like, because weights are weights. 45 pounds is 45 pounds. Who gives a fuck what the brand is? But I think if you're going to participate in sports like powerlifting, you really should have a deadlift bar, like, specialty bars. I got a Swiss bar, I got the Camber bar, I got an Olympic power bar, I got, you know, just a good variety of barbells. And those are expensive. Oblique twists, yes. Power raises, yeah, exactly, yeah. Actually, thank you for throwing that out there because I forgot about those. Do you have a gold bar? No, I don't. Best workout with calisthenics. I'm not really big into calisthenics. I do Muay Thai training. So like jump roping and doing pyramids on the bag is like all the cardio I need. But this is that calisthenics. Um, we do a lot of sparring. I like to do I do box jumps, uh, but that's more because I need to be able to jump. Best workout for bad posture. Full range of motion barbell lifting. And the reason why is because uh, barbells, if you have a deficiency on one side of your body, you can only push as strong as the deficiency, so it evens out. So, like, think about it. Like, say I was able to curl 100 pounds with this arm and 50 pounds with this arm. Well, when I'm curling, I'm only going to be able to do 50 pounds or the barbell. So it forces this to catch up with that one. Same thing like any kind of uneven deficiency you might have. But if you have bad posture, first thing is find out what is bad in your posture and what you need to do to correct it. And then, like if you have interior pelvic tilt, you want to do exercises that focus on strengthening that. Like here's the problem is like I have interior pelvic tilt, so um, when I have bad posture, I stand like this and my gut sticks out. So like you got a big gut, but if I just turn my hips the way they're supposed to, it goes away. That's it. I'm not sucking my gut in. But all those muscles on your back, going down your spine, they've already been worked into that for years and years and years. So just stretching them and straightening them out, going to a chiropractor, won't do anything. You've got to work on exercises that stretch them out and strengthen them in the other direction. What that might look like are Jefferson curls, deadlifts, things of that nature. Um, what's bad about your posture? Is it flat feet, your knee surgery, or you got fucking problems with your hips? Like, I need a diagnosis. And then from there, we develop a routine that attacks the posture issues. You do elbow lifts? No. Guy. Level. Yeah, good to see you out of the closet there, Level. Alright, guys. It is fucking 1 in the morning. I had a good time tonight. I actually got a fucking good workout in. I squat, let's see, we're doing dynamic box squats. I did 3 sets of 495. No, 475. And then just did those deadlifts. I think we're doing alright tonight. And I might have earned myself a day off from lifting. Maybe tomorrow I'll do the heavy bag. We'll do some LARPing. I'm LARPing as a Muay Thai practitioner. Yeah, I did. Dude, dude, I don't sleep. I'm not even gonna go to bed after I get offline here. I'm gonna probably watch YouTube videos or paint figurines like Warhammer. I was talking about it earlier. It's like because I had relapsed and I'm sober again. Like I'm back on the good path. But that shit that happened in San Francisco in August, I have. When I'm not busy and I'm quieting myself, like when I lay down and like I'm not watching TV or I'm not distracted, I'm not talking, I'm not lifting, I'm playing the drums, I'm doing all the other fucking crackhead shit that I do to keep myself occupied. Which I get a lot of shit done, but I get myself to exhaustion. But then as soon as I lay down and close my eyes, these fucking intrusive thoughts creep in. And I just go to a really bad place. Oh, no wonder I look so old. This fucking heat lamp makes me look like I'm 900 years old. It's way better. What am I saying here? I'm probably not going to sleep. I'll lay down. And yeah, the coffee probably didn't help, but I shouldn't be up now. It's 1 in the morning. What am I working out at 1 in the morning for? I'm glad you guys are awake. Oh yeah, I'm a smart gamer. I'm growing my hair out because you told me to. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, though. Hey, so tomorrow, should I get on this late, guys, or should I get on earlier? Thanks, Life. I appreciate it. Well, that's my little one. We're going to get where the lighting's good. It's all...
We need an afternoon. Okay, no, that's I can do. I can do that. That's probably what I should be doing. When I say jump, you crouch. All right, then tomorrow I'm going to stream in the afternoon. All right, guys. I'm going to attempt to go to bed, but oh, you know what? I gotta show you guys. No, I'm not gonna do it now. I got a new pet. I got a parakeet. His name's Sunshine. This fucking bird's awesome. I'll show you guys tomorrow. I love y'all. I'll see you in the battlefield.